because the recap is pretty minimalist.
We fought it.
Thrum did some
Specifically,
things.
Thrum fought it.
Everyone successfully not died.
Yep. Thrum killed Throgdal. All right. Question for this week. Session 86. What legacy do you hope to leave?
One written in stone.
It would have been nice to not be the people who found Dammerhall only to lose it again.
Yeah, I'll accept that for Taskell.
I want to be the one king that they don't talk about his history very much. They always kind of like do that thing of like a kid will ask about the history of Fergus, the Heartless, and they all kind of just shoo away from the fact that he learned from elves and he taught tolerance. Like, no, let's ignore this part real quick. He's just, he found the country again. Yay!
A real George Washington's agricultural business type of thing.
And, between there being 5 generations of dwarves that had to adapt to not having the ancestors to lean on and all the other shit, you might actually be able to pull off some sort of cultural coup in the Dwarven realms.
All right.
Norgrams would probably be revitalizing the Grudge Blades in a uplifted way.
What was the exact phrasing of it again?
Well, what kind of legacy do you want?
I'm back, by the way.
Thrum is the dwarf that almost saved his people by getting Nolgrim to the throne.
So you want your legacy to be biffing it on the coup?
He's going to leave behind a journal dictating everything he did.
The only
How
one
he
who had the
almost
foresight to try.
I guess if anything, I just want there to be a legacy, but making sure the world doesn't fucking end. I'm not sure if Freya super cares if people remember that she's the one that did that.
Don't you want people to remember that you're the one that made that mech suit? That fucking drow keeps trying to steal your patents.
Oh yeah, there you go. I want credit for my designs, that motherfucker.
She's gonna create the first patent office that's multiracial.
Hey, royalty.
What does that mean?
I imagine the dwarves have a patent office, but they don't share that with other races.
Well, the gnomes did, but you basically stole their patent.
I haven't given it away or used it for anything. I just have it.
Which is worse somehow.
They're gnomes. They're not people.
They know I have it. I told them.
Yeah, but the fact that you have it, you
told
let
the
them
little
know that you
people
have
I
it,
stole it.
and then you do nothing with it and just smugly be like, I have their cultural secret, is somehow worse.
It wasn't intended to be like that, but yeah, it kind of became that way.
Because it feels petty now.
It really does. I had plans for it, but it never wound up working like the direction I wanted it to, so now I just have it.
Oh, God.
It's just a cultural oopsie.
Just a teeny, weeny, tiny British museum moment.
We all have one.
Listen, if you left it in that crumbling observatory, I don't think you're responsible enough to take care of it.
Especially if it was your only copy. I mean, jeez.
I mean, that was his intention. Like, hey, it's not probably good to have one copy, and you're going off somewhere dangerous, and I'm going off somewhere dangerous, but we have a better chance of at least salvaging it if one of us has it.
Okay, to be fair about the only copy thing, it was an entire city destroyed by a burning mudslide. So, like, some hard copies probably got destroyed.
Yeah, but currently there was only one copy, but now there's two.
Can't trust you people to keep your cultural heritage.
We would be
We're
happy
gonna do
to
it for you.
return your cultural artifacts. We're just worried that you'll dirty them up with your hands.
You're welcome to visit in our museum at any time you like.
For a small fee.
For a small
Behind
fee.
a thick sheet of glass, I'll remind you.
Could you please show me your traveling documents? Ooh, yeah, you're not in order here.
You're on a list. I'm afraid we can't let you in.
Mm-hmm.
That country, every time I hear something coming out of it, we should probably get started, but it does not
Yeah.
seem like it's going well over there in the UK.
No.
Like, we've had 6 prime ministers in 2 years. The government's falling apart. Everyone's getting stabbed.
Meanwhile, the Republic of Ireland's just being really smug about separating from them. We will get on the game, but one of my favorite news bits I heard was when England was pulling out of the EU. They said, if the Republic of Ireland has any valor, they will leave with us. To which Ireland said, I don't think you understand. We, hate you guys. We had a whole thing about not wanting to be associated with you.
Don't
And
you
if
remember
anything-
when we blew up all your politicians in their cars?
Yeah. If anything, I think after you leave, it's gonna get a little bit better for us.
I don't know how they actually ended up resolving that, because I remember people were pretty concerned there was going to be a problem because with Irish people traveling between the two Irelands.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, but that'll be another hour-long talk rabbit hole. So let's get down to business.
Yes.
I'd like to point to 45 minutes ago when I wasn't online yet, and I noted that you can never tell how long our free talk is gonna go.
Listen, we like each other, Cope. Okay, what do you want?
If I may read the minutes, I believe I said it 4:02.
Just like to
Yeah.
defend myself for not having been online yet.
I wasn't criticizing.
Might have to make it a point to hang out a bit more often.
Yeah.
Well, it's that question of, do we just talk once a week so we have a lot to talk about when we meet, or do we try and talk every day and then the quality of the conversations just go poorly?
Yeah, it's always the thing. We can try to do some movie nights every now and again. I was
Yeah.
flipping through my Amazon stuff, and I
I
saw
still want
a
to
movie.
play fucking what's it called? The horny D&D game.
Oh, Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate.
Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Wow, it got
Like
real
4
quiet.
things before I got there.
It got real quiet, and I literally put my hands up to my mouth like, what just happened?
Richard really wants to launch our Pornhub actual play, right now.
Listen, I like how everyone froze. And I realized how I said it, and then I realized fucking everyone else kind of like wait, which game? And I can hear the mental hands coming up and counting on the fingers. Like, hey, was it this game? This one? This one?
Right.
All right,
going through
everyone.
a list. I think
Roll.
Apple and I hit Baldur's Gate at the same time.
All right, everyone, roll for load of viscosity.
Oh, God.
Fucking Lord.
The weather's too hot over here to be laughing this hard. I'm starting to sweat. It's 106 over here, okay?
Hell. This is why this campaign's never gonna finish.
We spent an hour just bullshitting. You're right. It's your personal hell gumbo, and it's my job to keep you here. It's like Gilligan's Island or whatever.
I mean, I don't mind stalling for a bit longer.
Instead of a 3-hour tour, it's a 3-hour session.
I was gonna say before Richard did all that. I saw a movie. I just saw the name listed. It was Samurai Priest Vampire Hunter.
Hmm.
Classic.
Felt like a Velocipaster situation.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter is still the best one of all those.
That is, I've seen that one. That's fantastic.
That's the fun movie, I swear.
It's just a good time.
My best buddy in college introduced me to a movie called Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that one.
It's a solid Canadian movie. It's just yeah.
There's also Hobo with a Shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But anyway.
Oh God.
Sorry, can't watch anything from Canada till they legalize freedom.
And let's not forget Shaolin Soccer. That was
we have watched that one.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
God, the insult on that one was.
Yeah.
Girl shaves her head. You look like E.T. Go phone home. That was his romantic interest.
Wow, that's brutal.
What is that called? Negging? Where you just talk negatively to them and try to hit them that way?
Something.
If you try that one now, they'll go, "Who the fuck's E.T.?"
Oh God. Then the final battle of the enemy team was just as good, despite not having Shaolin powers. And there's the sponsor up in the bush. Box goes, the drugs from America are working.
What drug was it?
Just drugs from America.
Just drugs from America. Because apparently American athletes dope so much, we're just known for it internationally.
Oh God.
Man, I had such a serious scene planned for the opening of this as well.
Well, that's why we're getting our chuckles out now.
Yeah. We still gotta go through the recap. So
you fought in a battle.
War happened.
Yeah.
I mean, before that,
War never
story
changes.
the story before that. Yeah, we did that the recap with the last time. It's true.
The bombs haven't fallen yet.
Hey, I was just giving you an opportunity to kind of reset the mood, bro.
Here's how I'll do it. Here's how I'll do it.
In the deep, dank underdark, there lies a city.
All the mass combat units have had a patch, so their stats have been slightly adjusted, and a couple of them have had abilities changed or new ones added. So if you're curious, you can just give that a look-see right now.
A brave warrior
do you wanna-
Thrum has just had his ass handed to him in combat.
Sir, do you want to inspect the troops? Why? Because there's been a patch. I'm afraid some of the units got nerfed. We should probably run through them.
You'll notice like all the special forces have a new ability called Tough, which in their case it's Tough 10, which means they can never lose more than 10 troops from any one attack. So that'll make the much more elite special forces a little tankier. They will just be annihilated by one big attack.
That's good. That makes them feel, yeah.
That was my concern about the scouts, because I'm like, man,
Yes.
all they need to do is get smacked by anybody and they will go down.
So in this edition of Dammerhall, we're just going to quickly go over the update that we've just been through. The macro is changing heavily now. We see that special forces are going to be much more relied upon. It's not just the norm to go with building the cheapest troops and flooding the battlefield.
Also, though I have updated the tokens, we're not putting those in the field yet, but special forces also can no longer be flanked, and they're the only troops that can move diagonal.
Which ones?
Special forces.
Okay.
Smart.
These are things like your clerics, your moose maulers, the Dammer Guard.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I bumped the power of the cleric's magic strike a little bit, and I also modified bless and protection to affect all adjacent allies instead of just one adjacent ally. That'll make those abilities have a little bit more utility. And a lot of other stuff is just futzing with numbers.
Okay.
And take into account the new charge mechanic.
Oh, I like that kill in line with the Dammer Guard. That's cool.
Mhm.
So how did you resolve? How are we doing the tax of opportunity at this point?
Currently, we'll see how it holds up, but currently attacks of opportunity will be automatic hits, but at 50% damage.
Okay.
My rationale for the automatic hits is that in mass combat, you really only ever take an attack of opportunity if you choose to, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like moving away, exposing your flank, or making an attack, a melee attack, and missing. So we'll see how that plays out.
Okay.
But
I like the AOO on a failed charge or a misroll on the charge, because that makes a lot of sense. If you're bracing as mass combat and somebody's charging you, you're kind of running straight into an AOO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everyone can charge now, but cavalry units like the Goat Cavalry have a few bonuses to charging. Like Goat Cavalry have powerful charge, where charges are at advantage, and then also charge through, which if they critically hit, they can move through a unit to the other side.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Hammer Elites had their surge ability changed to be a little bit more useful.
Well, look, I like this, that we tested our armies against the orcs, made some changes, upgrades. Now, when we go after the drow, we'll be ready. I'm looking at you, Fergus.
Hey, I'm not in charge of the military. I outsourced that job.
And as a reminder
King,
to the
you're literally the executive.
I have the rules written down here, so when the time comes, we could remember. But as a little point of remembering, there's the new charge action, which is use an action, you move your speed, and then you make an attack at the end of it, a melee attack at the end of it. But that melee attack, you add your morale to the attack roll. So that should make it so that way the more elite units, which usually have higher morale, also consequently have a higher charge bonus.
Okay.
Fergus is like, I'm really more of a bubble baths and foot rubs kind of king.
Still haven't gotten either of those. Damn it.
No,
Damn
that
it,
whore
Hall.
you're talking to.
All right. With that cold shower of statistical analysis, let's slide into role play here. As we will open on the interior of Dammerhall. We're kind of jumping around the timeline a little bit here, as this is just after Maladraxus has withdrawn, coming to an agreement with King Fergus of Dammerhall. The dwarven troops have been mopping up the last of the wild drakes. Thanks to Caliburb and Freya's timely intervention, they were able to contain most of the damage to the city, meaning that you guys will not be taking any stress for that. But still, this particular neighborhood has been reduced to mostly molten earth, and teams are still combing the rubble looking for injured and survivors, taking stock of the damage. Nulgrim.
Yes.
You guys were all taking a long rest. You're currently on your own, overlooking all the rubble, having just given out some orders for the search parties. If I remember correctly, your guys' plan was to teleport to the battle after you had an hour-long rest because you guys got the shit kicked out of you fighting the dragon.
I believe so.
Yes. So Freya is probably setting everything up back at her workshop. Taskell and Fergus are coordinating with officials to see the scope of the damage, leaving you just on your own, looking at the smoking ruins of this last fight that you had. Where would you say Nilgrim's mind is right now? A small bit of the city got wrecked, but you have struck a deal with a powerful but antagonistic dragon.
Feels like he's juggling a whole lot of plates right now that are just going to tip one way or another. He's definitely, at the same time, several other plates are up in the air, kind of wondering what's going on the battlefield right now, and so he's just kind of getting his head in the game and just getting ready to just give it everything he's got to just power through just how much over the past, just because Caliber was like a month ago or like a season ago.
Yeah, very much.
Just how much has changed in just a few months, and like how much it's only off the line, and it just the scale just keeps escalating. He just, part of him is just wondering, it's like, okay, well, when's it all gonna break, right? But going down swinging at this point, he's got nothing to lose.
As you're thinking about that, mulling over your thoughts, you hear a voice seeming to emanate somewhere from the rubble, deep and gravelly. Nulgrim. You look around. You do not see anyone nearby you outside of course, the Shades, who are constantly watching you, waiting for their vengeance to happen. Your consummate companions. But you hear the voice again. Nulgrim. Sounds familiar. A voice that you've heard only once, 7 years ago, back when Dammerhall was held by Bendrak. The strange, burning-eyed entity in the smoke that was discussing with Bendrak Trinehammer. The entity that swore vengeance upon the traitorous king of Dammerhall. As you cast your eyes about, you look up to see the black smoke rising from the burnt buildings due to dragonfire, and you see those same two burning eyes looking down upon you now. I will remind everyone at home that Taskell's had several conversations with the Burning Darkness, this fella here, but as far as I'm aware, he has told no one about it.
Nope.
Yeah, Ning Amon, or the Burning Darkness.
In that moment, Nulgrim just watching it rise up and goes, of course. Of course. There's a part of him that's just almost manic with just like it's a busy day today.
Be calm, Grudgeblade. I do not speak to you as a foe.
I'm happy to hear that. There's definitely abundance of them lately. Why have you come?
You have more foes than you believe.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Your people, our people, are being deceived.
Even more than what we already know.
Yes. Father Mountain and Mother Fire are not to be trusted There is much they are holding back from you. Terrible truths. Truths that could be the secret to saving your people and understanding our connection.
What do you mean by our connection?
I am the burning darkness. I am the black flame of vengeance that burns within the heart of every dwarf. Your place, your grudge blades were created as a release for my rage, the rage of the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
The aberrant grudge bound, when your oaths consume you upon your death and your soul transforms. The demiplane of which they are pulled to is by my side.
So you're the reason that our souls get consumed, or is it just consumed and we go to you?
I am the symptom. Father Mountain and Mother Fire are the reason for my rage. Their betrayal, their lies.
What is their betrayal?
I wish to tell you, but the generations of their propaganda has withheld the truth. And should I say it out loud, you would just think me a liar. You know that I have worked with Bendrak in the past, and your enmity for him is understandable. Instead,
At the same time, as a quick moment,
yeah,
I do see, at least out of character real quick, all indications was that Bendrak and his party were preparing for, or basically in their current state because of the dragon, or what happened at the. Okay, so.
And Anencephalon claims that he was the one that sent the visions to Thrum and Taskell that sent you guys on this quest in the first place, and the gods just took credit for it.
Right. Okay. So he'd say, I've seen the foe and fought the foe that drew Bendrak, presumably to you. I don't agree with his methods or anything in that regard, but I could understand the fear. So I am listening.
I can help you defeat the dragon Encephalon.
Okay.
It need not be through Bendrak's methods. But to do
Even
that, I will need to be freed from my prison. The prison that Father Mountain and Mother Fire stuck me in.
Why did they put you in prison?
Because I attempted to destroy them when I found out their deception.
Okay. And their deception?
The true origin of the Dwarven people.
Okay.
You are not their children.
Okay. Whose children are we then?
Within the Sunless Sea are a set of titanic ruins, pillars carved with hieroglyphics, created by the ancient primordial giants. They contain the answer to that question. And I will say, you guys actually, I rolled randomly. You guys briefly found these when you were exploring the Sunless Sea. You ended up sailing past them, but you sailed through them in a cavern in the Sunless.
Do we ever stop to investigate it, or do we even notice it?
You noticed it. I just remember everyone saying, "Oh, well, that's an interesting thing. We might need to remember this for later." And then you kept on cruising.
I gotcha. Okay.
Go to them. See the truth for yourself, and you will understand why I need you to commit deicide.
All right. Should this take priority after or before Encephalon?
Well, out of character, he was saying he can help you defeat
Okay.
Encephalon.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
My communication must be brief, lest my parents know that I reach out to you. But heed my final warning, Nilgrim, son of Runic, half-brother to the king. Do not bring Taskell with you. Unwitting though it may be, he is a spy for my father. But his eyes see and his ears hear are known to the mountain.
Okay. I hear you.
Go, find the runes, and once you understand the truth, I shall attempt to speak to you again. And the smoke begins to part a little bit. The eyes are gone.
I dearly wanted to unmute and make
You're adopted.
somewhere in there.
I mean, he's already a bastard.
Hold up. So here's this moment where Nolgrim just kept going through this mental checklist. You realize, hold up. Not only were my parents not my parents, but apparently my gods aren't my creators. What the fuck is?
Been a hell of a Tuesday.
I think I'm gonna take up smoking. I need a fuck.
Oh, it's only Monday.
Meanwhile, Fergus is like, "This is why I worship the god of the seas. I didn't claim that I came from the seas."
Yes, join the priesthood of seamen. That was my religion from civilization. I used to conquer the entire world.
Nice.
Yep, seamonism. Richard attempted to stop me with the rise of his own religion, Kellogism, but I used Inquisitors and I just killed them all.
No one can stop the flow of semen.
The religion of cereal never stood a chance.
Yeah.
They just drowned in an ocean of semen.
Well, I mean, it all.
How could it when Seymour Cox died for our sins?
Yeah.
It was always a flaky religion, though.
Yep. I'll never forget like the last 10 turns of that match when I launched what I called the Faith Offensive, where every single city I had would go every turn producing a missionary, and I just was sending. I think it was by the end of it was like 40 missionaries through Richard's territory across the sea to spread the religion
Hello,
to America.
my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you this most amazing book.
Why is the book dripping?
Some of the pages are sticky. Anyway. Is there anything Nolgrim wishes to do now, or should I move on?
Good to move on. At this point, he's just spending the rest of the time just putting everything like a list in his mind the best he can. Mm-hmm. Just trying to see like, okay, which priorities? All right. He's vision boarding at the moment.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thrum. You just shredded the leader of the orc army with your burning chains into nothingness. The immediate orcs around you clearly are starting to have some buckling in morale. The Woad Chipper clan that was serving as your vanguard is giving you a brief moment of space in the melee here. While the news of Throgdal's death is rapidly spreading through the orc army, it doesn't look like you're going to experience a massive rout, as you are still outnumbered, and you were on the back foot when this battle happened.
Did not see that coming. Well, he would have the Moose Riders harry the group that did start to retreat, and he'd do a slight pullback. If I remember that battle map back behind that lake.
Here, we don't have to necessarily go into combat, but I'll just take you over to the map.
But he would.
Yeah, there was like a forest or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, he'd bring his lines back behind that lake to a smaller position to hold, and
just a general retreat.
Well, not an all-out retreat, but just to pull them all back. At the moment of the death and the confusion and in the orc army, to be able to pull them all back over here to create a more static line, and hopefully try and hold out until his companions get there, or till the end of the orcs, or till the end of the dwarves, more likely.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the death of their general helps cause some dismay in the field and just kind of unsure of.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to go into a full combat here. Why don't you give me a insight check, Thrum?
Please hold. I had not actually opened my sheet yet.
Well, get your sheet together.
Okay, good. I don't have time to get my sheet out while I'm on the battlefield. All right.
Well, we know we take your mic in there, so there should be no reason this should delay you.
26. No advantage. But first one rolled.
Yeah, first one rolled. All right. So, with that, you're able to issue orders to properly capitalize on the momentary loss in cohesion of the orc forces, to order a semi-retreat to a falled back location. Some of the dwarf warriors will be taking casualties, which I'll calculate in a moment. But you are able to withdraw to a slightly stronger holding position. To your dismay, while momentarily falling back, the orc forces do rally and begin to fan out to try to surround again very Black Gate from Return of the King. But then the pitch and tempo of the orcish war horns change, and they come to a halt. The arrows stop flying in, and then they begin to withdraw back towards the tunnel from where they came. A tentative cheer goes up around the dwarven forces, believing that they have somehow broken the morale of the orcish lines. But it is probably around this time that, with the aid of Caliburb, the rest of the party is able to teleport in and join you.
Oh, thank God.
What happened? How'd it go?
We're able to parlay and get his Maladrax's, right?
Yep, Maladrax's.
Get Maladrax's help in fighting Encephalon. And so, yeah, I'm not, at the very least, we're at an armistice.
Well, did they get word to the orcs? They just started to pull back. I hope that was why, and that they're not preparing some other attack.
I could only imagine. How did it go? Did we avoid? Was there combat, or did we actually get ahead of it?
There was fighting, but our boys held strong, and we took some losses. But like I said, they just started to retreat.
Oh, okay. How extensive are the initial estimates of the battlefield? And basically, Nolgrim's just kind of looking for just some sort of report as,
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm the general, please let me know what the situation is.
Well, you lost 1 unit of moose maulers, 2 groups of quarrelers, and I'm calculating some other casualties now.
Stormer's like, it's a good vibe so far.
Well, the numbers don't always matter for the ultimate outcome.
And I like to think.
What are you, Russia?
I like to think he starts to get lost in the numbers just because he refers to everything as porkas.
We did take out many of their porkas, but our boys, they got it hard too. We were greatly outnumbered.
Yeah, no, like I said, I was expecting worse losses, being honest. So well done at keeping things together.
But they didn't waver, and I got to kill lots of orcs.
Well, any of them of note?
One who said he was their leader, but they'll just replace him with another. Throg bad, strong bad, Trogdor. I don't remember what he called himself.
Nolgrim will kind of quirk a brow and then go to look at his book of grudges.
You hear from across the battlefield, "Father!" See, look, they've already done it.
It's always just swearing vengeance.
Trogdor Jr.
Yes, Throgdal Storm Mauler is a resolved grudge. You're not the one you didn't do it, so you don't get any power-ups from it, but
for sure, but it's crossed
one
out.
less. It's crossed out.
Well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you for that.
Absolutely. We don't get to kill enough orcs. Now, I guess we're going to ally with them. I can handle that. So the red dragon's controlling them?
We don't really know. He hasn't told them to stop.
I mean, they're withdrawing when they had the clear advantage.
Okay.
I'm just getting your guys' units all set up back here. Nope.
Okay. Sorry, my headset cut out for a sec there.
No worries.
A bit there.
Yeah, it looks like I'll move you guys back to the main map now, because we're not going to be doing a ill fight here. All right, on the kingdom dashboard, just updated your troops there. Yeah, so I'll All right, so if you guys look over here, the orc army, you see the red banner, it does appear to be pulling back down into these tunnels over here, at least for now. They, by all accounts, had the ability to press the attack, and they did not.
Oh, yeah. I remember I had...
we should move down to here to give them room to leave. Because we can't just let them stay down there in Hall Forge.
Right. But that's also hoping that they have intention on leaving rather than just putting themselves in a position to to resume.
Maybe we should send some scouts.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you
Good
guys
idea.
did have them bottled in. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll clear the way and just have our are they Iron Cloaks? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have them keeping tabs and just seeing if they make a.
They're stealthy sons of bitches. They can handle
Yeah.
it.
This exact situation is why I wanted to rig up that that plumbing system from the Sunless Sea to flood corridors. Because imagine if we could just seal off these entrances and then turn on the water.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
But
Just make a
alas,
gate from the
I
Sunless
don't.
Sea to
Well,
here.
these are so many ideas. It would take Gombo years for us to finally finish this game.
Mm.
For us to implement them all.
I probably should have started kingdom building a little bit sooner, but that's what I'm saying. I enjoy kingdom building. I want to do a kingdom building thing as a player in the future. I think as soon as I finish this campaign, a big goal of mine is just to take all the little rules for like this dice system and make that into like an actual Google Doc I can share with you guys, just in case anyone wants to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I really enjoy this system.
Yeah, because the point of contact between this and the main like character is the officer dies up here, which they've all increased. So have fun looking at your big numbers. But where are you going to be ordering the bulk of your army to? I know the scouts are keeping track of the orc army, but
where is there a main settlement or of Helmengard?
not really anymore. The orcs have kind of completely decimated this area, and I should probably just do this. Is it actually in the token layer? No. All right. Pretend the yellow isn't there while I try to figure out how to delete it.
No more Helmengard there.
Well, they effectively just don't control the territory anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's more than just aggressive raiding. It was
We must rebuild.
Yeah,
Pillaging.
full on. Yeah, it was raised. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Lots of refugees have taken within Dammerhall. So that's why Clan Helmengard is still not a viable distinction at the moment. They don't really have a strong foothold.
We had an agreement with the Kingless Kingdom, didn't we? As far as them helping refugees too.
Specifically with Drow, I believe. Like for fighting Drow.
Okay.
And really also the possibility of mercenary contracts, which is in your mercenary handout.
Okay.
You can always reopen, but because they were helping escaped slaves, but these are your own people.
Right.
This would be a little bit like having a major disaster in America and then saying, all right, Mexico, we're sending people, you take care of them. You take care of American citizens, we'll bring them back.
No, we take their citizens and we send them to New York.
Okay. So it's your choice where you want to send your army at the moment.
I think probably since this territory is uncontrolled, I think do we just want to do it at this bottleneck or do we want to stay in the open?
We stay at the remains of Fort Helmengard.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Better to have it at a bottleneck.
Yeah. That's fair. No mechanical benefits because it's still very much destroyed, but you'll be
but at least
it's
there. At least it's a bottleneck.
The orcs are dealt with for the moment.
So, yeah.
Got 3 known drow locations. 4, I guess, technically. One of which is probably easiest to deal with, but I'd like to know how much more is up here.
Yeah, if you guys would like, you could easily return to Dammerhall to call a session of the council.
Yeah, I think that's important at this point.
Kind of like round table this before we do any kingdom actions. I have a feeling this is going to be a very role play and kingdom management centric session.
Yeah.
But it was needed. So yeah, Star Wars, crossfade, crosswipe. You're all gathered around the table now.
So
Okay.
there's a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do we know where Maladraxus ended up?
He's kind of dug away, I think.
Do you have any way to figure out where he ended up?
You know that the orc army came from the north. So if they work with Maldraxxus, it's your best thought.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose those anti-heat wards have bumped up the timetable a little bit. Kept putting them off, and then he came to us.
Like, one thing we should probably do is start rebuilding our army to protect us from whatever the Drow are going to do. We also need to determine if the orcs are going to retreat or they're going to just stay in that hole, and how long should we just leave them be or deal with them.
And how long do we have until Encephalon just makes all this moot?
Yeah, we need to find the location of that city as well. So we probably should seek out a location of Duragar that might be open for talks, even if it's for like bartering to like get the information. But again, that's going to be hard as well because they don't take it kindly to dwarves.
Well, I've got somebody that could help.
Yes, we know. When are you going to put a ring on that?
I can ask you the same thing.
Listen, it's complicated right now.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of complications going on everywhere right now. But yeah.
Listen, you're farther along than I am. I'm living vicariously through your romance right now because I don't have one right now.
Fergus is over here watching his half brother and like, God, they make it look so easy.
You know, I'm always preaching about open communication between races, and they're just living the dream over here.
Yeah, step 1, he dies. Step 2, she volunteers to be possessed by him. Step 3, get resurrected by a god. Step 4.
They have it so easy.
that moment of he goes to what's your partner's or your
Marigold.
Marigold. So Marigold, crazy idea. If I was to die, would you let me possess you?
I like how in this situation he's the one asking, "Would you love me if I was a worm?"
Yeah, exactly. So
the catty banter apart. We need to find the location, so we need information. We need to rebuild our army so we can have it to march on the Drow / escort us to this kingdom that we're going to need to fight our way probably through to stop whatever this gateway opening is.
That hole that just goes down with the old pitons and stuff like that, I think my mind keeps suggesting that might be where Caliburn and his team went down and found that chamber where Encephalon is trying to access, right? Because that's what we're looking for, right?
Awesome. Explain why he wanted us to reclaim Dammerhall.
Does your helmet familiar? I know you don't use it much. Does it have a distance it can go from you? Because if it can just go down there and basically get information for us.
It's
Even
no
if it
longer my familiar at this point,
Gotcha.
and it's in Freya's possession.
Gotcha.
But it still has the floating ability, I believe.
Freya, Ivy also here says I can put together an exploration team.
Yeah.
That's what you want me to do.
Yeah, I'm just worried if we go down that hole, like it's not going to be like exactly like an easy ask for most people, and then getting down there, who knows what's down there. I wanted to see if we can have some kind of like non-organic way of going down there, like to examine. I would probably just like invite Caliber to this meeting, just to ask him if he has any magics that might be able to let us scry down there. Like, does he have something he can send down there that we can scry through and see?
Unfortunately, not this time. Finding a little bit difficult to reclaiming spells. Additionally, the city of Deir Amaruk, where myself and my fellows adventured to all those years ago, was quite magically shielded. It was only findable via mundane means.
I mean, that
So
does lead
this
credence to the Pittons and stuff.
Because was this a Durgar?
Yeah, that was a Durgar rune that the
Yeah.
Freelings have set up when as their pseudo cap.
Okay. And is that where we saw the tunnel going down?
No, that's the tunnel going down is in the base of Dammerhall underneath you.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I assume the gods are still silent on anything we can get information on, so they're not going to be any help.
Taskle would be a better authority about that than I.
Their silence is confounding.
Gods only talk to you if they want something from you.
I mean, hey, you can always
One
bust
of
out
those.
that. You can bust out that divine intervention and see if it works. You have a 17% chance now.
It's one of those shots where we're focused on Taskell, and he's like, it's confounding, and then it unfocuses on him, and Nolgrim in the background.
yeah, exactly. Like definitely that side glance.
But yeah, we can have someone examine down that hole and see if it leads anywhere productive. At the very least, if they go missing, we know something's down there.
You know, Nolgrim, be a good time to suggest those ruins, although you need to find a way to make me not come along.
Oh yeah, out of character.
Yeah,
Took me a second.
Taskell was listening the entire time during that
Right.
whole
Yes.
spiritual thing.
Convince me not to come. I
Right.
know everything already. Plotter's
No.
Taskell is the burning darkness.
Oh, fuck, that would have been. Man, you need to come up with these ideas at character creation, Kenneth. Because you secretly being a god of darkness in disguise sandbagging would be a great character thing. That's like the whole Theobald having the dude we're trying to rescue in his basement.
Right.
I would
Okay.
raise some questions as to where Freya came from, but
Oh, he could have made a mortal dick. You don't know.
You could be an ASMR secretly.
Yep.
You would be the only one in the party that has parents other than what you actually believed.
Look, let's just take a step back from this campaign for just a half second and just group wide as a whole. We've all played with each other enough, and we've all DM'd enough games. Maybe it's all right if we pitch a crazy idea in a private Skype chat every now and then.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I loved about Way of the Wicked, because you all were coming up with some fun shit.
Especially homebrew campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
That's really the time to really deliver on that kind of nonsense.
Yeah. Really feel free to chuck some stuff at it. You know.
Yeah. After the Starfinder game, I have plans for a Stone Age game.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Yeah,
Go all
other than
extremes,
Pathfinder-related
right?
ones, I do have a plan for that one that we're going to do the round robin group world building thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to contain myself because I keep getting other ideas and I keep trying to rail it in.
I feel that.
But yeah, back into the meeting.
Probably
So-
discuss with Nolgrim about combining our organizations.
Yeah, Nolgrim. It's all the paperwork you sent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also looked over that myself, and I will say all that is good to go. There's no like requirements or hoops. You can just start knocking some of that shit out with kingdom actions.
Okay. Trying to remember. So we know Encephalon got most of whatever he was looking for, but there's obviously still a piece missing because everything still exists.
Yes, he knows where the avatars of Amaruk are because that's where he first confronted Caliburb and Bendrak and companions back in the day. And via the whole mind heist confrontation with you, he acquired whatever sort of code to unlock the arcane wards that prevent their activation from Caliburb already. So he's clearly missing something to get him going. Otherwise, he would have just done it. You're not sure what that is, but it's missing something.
It's also this might be in character too, but out of character. Was the one that we took back Dammerhall from? Was he actually actively working against these people, or is he working with them, or do we still kind of? Is it still kind of ambiguous?
He was definitely trying to raise the Black Iron Army to destroy Encephalon. Classic D&D lore: constructs and undead are immune to all Mind Flayer shenanigans.
That does remind me. We do need to have someone invest into thinking of a way to combat mental control.
But it did look like Bendrak, for whatever reason, his scope sort of magnified. It was, I will conquer him and everyone else.
So, wild idea. I know the sending spell is a thing. Like, in character, he knows that's a thing. Could we, like, I don't know, he wouldn't know, but Taskell could get access to that spell. Could we ask him where the kingdom is that we're looking for the city?
I will let you know, because Caliburb could inform you. The imprisonment spell.
Blocks him from everything.
It blocks any sort of scrying, detection, communication magics, and all that, in addition to the stasis effect. That's actually written in the spell.
Yeah.
It's what also makes it unfindable.
So also another question while we're on the subject, because just my brain's working wacky here. He would look at Caliburb like, that thing you gave me that lets him come back. I imagine this is like, I'm asking him, and we don't have the guy who doesn't know about this, Cyrus right here. Does it just appear where he was disappeared into, like, say, where he was here in Dammerhall, or does he appear wherever the nut breaks?
The nut cracks.
He would be drawn to wherever the walnut is cracked. It's not precise, like exactly that location, but in the general area. Not dissimilar from a teleportation spell.
Okay, so keeping that in mind, that's an option if we can find the city, and we just think we might need an extra fuck you if we're losing.
Yeah, so definitely doing it, he would appear within the city, but you couldn't like Pokeball throw the walnut into a magic containment circle.
Bendrak, I choose you.
Yeah, he wouldn't like appear in a pre-laid trap, but he would appear within a city. Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha. Just something to keep in mind. Because we're exploring kind of every angle at this point.
Oh yeah.
And to that matter, again, only the ones in this room right now know of Bendrak. To that end, should he get out, what happens? Like, what?
If it's that desperate, that's the thing we could address. Then I'm not saying we do it.
Well,
I'm just saying it's an option.
No, I know, but that's kind of, if it's just an idea, my genuine curiosity, because we know now what he was raising this army for.
Yes, but
if he gets out, then he will likely go after whoever has the Black Iron Crown.
Yep, obviously. Yep. And that would,
Unless I've considered the proposition of figuring out a way to. Do we know? As far as we know, he hasn't escaped, right?
Dendrak?
Yeah.
No, he's definitely still locked away.
Yeah, we should see about retrieving the actual adamantine orb he's encased in. See if that's a thing we can do. How deeply it's buried. It's just so that we have that on lockdown.
and
and then we can try to communicate through
I don't think
it.
we're going to be able to
possibly.
retrieve him from the center of the earth, but
Yeah,
And
the spell does
yeah.
say he goes to the center of the planet.
Oh,
Yeah.
the center of the planet.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, literally as physically far away as something
Yeah.
could possibly be.
that's
Yeah.
making me wonder how many are down there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a nucleus.
Mhm.
He just joins the hive mind.
Right.
He's got to be toasty down there. An adamantine orb.
I need a out of character
Christ.
reminder, Michael.
Yes.
As I recall, you're the one with the black iron crown now.
I gave it to you, so
Okay.
you have it right now.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I'm trying to remember if we swapped it back when I was going to war, and you wanted.
I believe
something.
you still have it.
Okay.
We didn't
Wait.
want the, I don't know.
Wait, no, yeah, you're totally right. I took it
Oh.
back just in case you guys weren't able to get there to protect Dammerhall
Right.
from
Yeah.
maladresses. And
Okay.
you started killing people, because then I would have used it.
So just want to make sure we're on the same page there. So so you have the football.
So, did I ever get an indication that they knew that we had swapped it, Gombo? Trying to remember.
Who?
Anyone?
They were still trying to crack into the vault with Tomas until you got a bad roll and it slipped out of your pouch.
Yeah.
That was about the last end of it that you'd seen. No other communications with like that drow artificer or anything like that indicated anything about the crown.
Yeah, then I'd say now would probably be a good time for us to swap back again. Because anyone coming after us will likely suspect that I have the crown.
You'd be doing that just to me alone, though, right? Because as we learned, we don't want everybody to know. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're keeping it on a
that
need to
would've-
know basis.
that would have been a private conversation.
yeah. Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, so I'll take it back. Okay.
So I guess we should have a timeline of what we need to do. So
I
We
think
need
combining
to-
organization should be.
And we did develop a lead line pouch for this thing, right?
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
So we do need to shore up our defenses in terms of military power, because
Mhm.
as we've seen, we suck
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, but once me and
It's not that
me
we
and
suck.
Loki-
It's just that they have overwhelming numbers.
once me and Loki combine, we'll be able to both produce troops while our organization does something else.
Yes, once you guys combine, it'll basically open up a new officer up here.
Yeah. So I'm on board with Spain this season to get that together.
Yeah, when you guys are ready to start rolling, let me know, and I'll give you that little bit of like, here's what's happening.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you guys finish your strategizing
Yeah.
first.
And Nolgrim would want to meet up with Fergus after the meeting.
Let's get through the meeting first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there so we didn't just skip over it.
Mhm.
All right. So order of priorities, we need to get our organizations merged and working together, because we need to have this strong emphasis on might at this point.
Yeah, we need maximum efficiency.
What about you all? That was our political stuff. Oof.
I don't really want to use my effort to like try to do anything outside of the Underdark currently, like communicating with the other nations above.
No, I agree.
Because we're kind of like we're on the doomsday clock right now.
Yeah. I think either building up the military or managing stress at this point. Maybe
we could have
gaining resources.
We could have.
So out of character,
mean-
is Clan Helmengard wiped out, or are they just fled and just disorganized?
They are disorganized. They just
Okay.
can't contribute. If you're able to get
Okay.
some territory,
Okay.
be up and running.
Okay.
But
Okay. Just want to make sure of that.
yeah.
If we wanted to let the nearby, what's nearby us, Corsiconia and the elf place, I forget the name of.
Mhm.
We could have the Glimmer Worlds go out and literally like drop flyers that are just if you want to come help save the world from this imminent threat, come to Dammerhall.
Well, I have been keeping something that I found a long time ago growing up, and I would reveal the whole like letter that I have about the Heavenly Regent of the Unfolding River, owing basically a favor to the Dwarven Kingdoms of Dammerhall. Like, if I can find out who the fuck this is, I've been having people research this for me since we've taken over Dammerhall, and I cannot find this fucking name anywhere. Watch someone roll a knowledge check and know exactly who it is.
Would that be a history roll?
It'd be a history.
Would it fall into? No, probably not. Let's see what historical knowledge says.
I can't roll lower than a 19 on history now. Doesn't mean I know it though.
Yeah, historical knowledge roll. History.
Anyone else gonna roll?
7. So.
That's as bad as it could possibly be.
And you have a good roll for history too.
Can we roll untrained?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I've rolled history checks before on this, so I don't think I should be rolling.
Yeah, that was kind of my bread and butter. I just rolled a 1.
We look over to Caliburb.
I'm pretty sure I've asked Cyrus
we
before.
used to date.
And I've had Ivy examine and try to find anything. She wasn't able to.
Yeah.
So I might spend my time trying to find out who this is and requesting help if we can. Because I've been
Can we
holding
do
on
an
to this.
investigation in the library?
Well, I was just gonna say that Taskell got 25, so I was gonna give some information.
There you go. I didn't see that. We were talking, and I saw last one I saw was Throne.
Yeah, it finally rolled. So, or I finally noticed the prompt to select advantage, disadvantage.
Taskell speaks up, and everyone like jumps. How are you not a rogue?
All right. Let me quickly make sure I get the names here right. Oh, there we go. Could you remind me what was the full name on that piece of paper I gave you?
Let me go back to it.
Richard?
I have it in my bio. It is Heavenly Regent of the Unfolding River, Lady Yinshi the Long of Crescent Winters.
Yep. Okay, so Taskell, you know from time with Dammerhallian history that the third monarch of Dammerhall, Thathrun Goldspeaker, son of Striga of Clan Trienhammer, third king of Dammerhall, high king of the dwarves, was famous for being a fantastic deal maker and a big proponent of trade. Underneath his rulership, Dammerhall became a trade hub for most of the world. While you certainly don't know this name personally, you recognize enough of the titles to know that this is most likely one of the framed dragon leaders that exist in the continent of where is my note here? Sorry. Zingami across the sea. The metallic dragons rule those lands. So if this is a letter saying that that dragon owes Dammerhall a favor, then that means a rather powerful, traditionally good aligned dragon lord owes you guys a solid.
It's
Because
definitely a thing
Yeah,
worth
go ahead.
pursuing.
That sounds very valuable.
Assuming that they will honor that, I assume they have their own records of it. But that is also the other side of the world, basically.
I mean, it couldn't hurt to send a letter to him.
Do you technically have access to the gate spell now? Because 9th level spells?
oh shit,
Yeah,
makes
that
that
helps.
significantly easier.
Yeah. I will just say, if this is actually a metallic dragon, it will very much help that we're dealing with some weird undead mental abomination of a blue dragon they probably don't want in the world anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, we can get some information, see if they'll honor their end of the bargain to at least send us aid, if nothing else.
If we don't want to engage with diplomacy, I'm thinking the flyer idea might actually be a good go, because then we'll just get whoever. We'll probably just get a couple extra units for whatever final battle we're doing.
Well, like sending flyers to a bunch of different kingdoms.
Yeah, like Corsiconia and the Elves, basically just saying the blue dragon Maladraxus lives.
Mm-hmm.
Once Dammerhall falls, he will come for the world, come and help fight. And we shouldn't even negotiate with these governments, I think, because that'll waste time to get them like officially on board. They can come to that conclusion on their own if they want. Or if you want to do it diplomatically, but that's your strong suit, not mine, Fergus.
Yeah, I mean, my best bet is to try to
the
communicate with
world-
people.
But I was hearing from people that we didn't want to go to the other nations.
Well, I mean, I think letting people know. Well, yeah. The question is, do we want to warn the general public to a potential
only ones
world-ending
I feel
cataclysm?
comfortable- The only ones I feel comfortable that they would actually willingly act on this are the elves we met prior that we actually have a more solid direction towards with the Freelings pathways that we went up to the World Wound, I think it was.
But the
Going up there.
Corsiconians are also like adventurers, so they might.
They are, but they're
They might
very.
want
They're
to come
very.
in. We might get mercenaries from them.
They're very bureaucratic and like.
That's why
not
I'm saying we
clicky.
don't work with their government at all. We don't use action
true.
rules to talk to them. We just inform the people and see if any mercenaries come to help.
I wish there was a way to project myself across different nations and just announce to the world that the world could end. Just really stir up some trouble.
Hey, kingdom actions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's
you
what I
can-
was saying.
you can-
The Glimmer Worlds.
You could write these
they
flyers
can fly above.
and
Yeah.
bring your diplomacy. Your diplomacy could come into play with the way you word the flyers that go out to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do that. I know one of my first actions is going to be try to communicate with this Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
But afterwards, the flyer idea honestly isn't bad.
Just like King Fergus's decree.
Mm.
Basically seeking aid to save the world.
I will also point out, just so you guys know, some of the resources at your disposal. Though Fergus has not yet earned the moniker of High King of the Dwarves, there are other dwarf holds, city-states across the continent that you would at least have a foot in the door with. You just had the entire moot that solidified your claim to being amongst their peers. So
Also, we do have kind of a name for ourselves in Corsiconia because of Iago.
Mm-hmm. To an extent, he's just like a rank and file soldier.
Was he just a soldier?
he got promoted after.
He got promoted, but he still was just a soldier. That's the whole place is ruled by merchant kings, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like he's probably respected, and if he comes and helps fight, then probably people who respect him will come and fight, and we'll at
Yeah.
least get a couple people.
Like I said, I'm willing to try it. Like my strong suit is communication with other people, so that's honestly where I'm gonna probably spend most of my time is trying to get allies of some kind.
No, that is honestly probably better for them to handle logistical support because humans in the Underdark ain't gonna have too much range.
Yeah. And while we're at this conversation, probably Freya, Taskell, or Nolgrim, you guys are the magical people. We need some way to prevent ourselves from being mentally controlled if we're going to be going into this city, I imagine.
I do have some new tricks up my sleeve. Let me look it up.
If it's a spell, we need to have something that is more stable. Because what if we lose the spell, like some kind of tinfoil hat or something?
I mean,
you've heard of my cures.
I'm sorry, Richard. It's pronounced aluminium.
Sorry, aluminium hat.
It's aluminum that can suck
Alright.
eggs.
I've talked to British people who think we say it better.
Aluminium is just a mouthful.
It is. It sounds like one of those words that you're pronouncing it wrong because you're sounding it out phonetically.
Mm-hmm. Because you're British.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the epitome of hyperbole.
Yeah, when you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Syllable.
Yeah.
I was about to say it.
But yeah, I don't know if Loki's looking something up because he was talking about doing a scene with Fergus.
Yeah. So as the meeting gets out, Nolgrim would meet up with Fergus and say, well, another vision, another weirdness. That character, what was it called? The Burning Darkness, right?
Yeah.
And that, do we know that that was tied to the iron thing that Fergus had? And
if you guys remember when you guys walked into the first refinery where you met Benjack for the first time, he was communicating with an entity in the clouds, which you guys have since identified.
And way back when we found the Jello Mold's secret finger.
Yeah, that's his armor.
Yeah.
So
still have not put up.
Man, that fucking ditto needs to be caught already.
Right. So you know the entity that was related to the finger thing that we found and lost. You remember when we were traveling in the Sunless Sea and we saw those weird ruins? Just kept going. The pillars. Well, the Burning Darkness suggested that some revelation exists there. One that could both help us defeat Encephalon, and also one that would reveal why the mother and the father have been silent, alluding to some sort of deception. And they suggested that Taskell is not to know or to go along, as the ties to the father he has could jeopardize everything. I'm just laying it all out there.
Yeah. Out of character, what is this place we're talking about with the pillars? I kind of drawing a blank on it. I can't remember.
It was originally just like a random encounter I rolled, but there was a cavern that you guys passed through in the Sunless Sea where there is these gigantic pillars that came from beneath the water and went all the way up to the ceiling that looked like they were sculpted to be for something that was of truly titanic size, bigger than even the normal 30-foot tall giants.
Gotcha. And there's like somewhere there that we could use to release them?
I don't know about releasing them.
just information.
Yeah, just information as far as I know.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So we're not trying to release this potentially evil god.
No.
We're just trying to get information.
That's what I'm looking for. I just want to check this place out and see what it's all about.
Because I will say, as far as gods go, and their track record so far, I don't trust any of them, good or evil, at this point.
I hear
So
you.
if we're
I
going to
hear
try to release anybody, I'm going to veto that right
Yeah.
now.
I have no intention of releasing anybody, but as far as looking for information, and especially if something that will help us defeat Encephalon, it's worth checking out, even if it comes from a shady source.
You said those are carved and stuff, right?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, I'm just going to try to open a portal to one of those pillars, see if they were
Nope.
dwarven made. Nope.
They were
Okay.
not.
Okay, I just tried it. Clearly not dwarven made, so it was worth checking.
I think we should also take Freya. Just all us youngins going. I think her intellect could definitely come in handy, especially when it comes to trying to figure out the information there.
I mean, as long as we're not doing anything that's going to try to release anybody,
I have, like
for
I
at
said,
least exploration.
completely
If there's any
open to
large dials or anything that we press, we leave. Agreed?
Yes, I have no intention on pressing any big red runes, but if there's information to be gained there, I am looking for information, nothing more.
Just let this
One of
creature
those
crawl on your
fucked
face.
up-
Right.
One of those fucked up Skyrim spikes where you think it's a button, but then it spikes your fucking hand.
Right.
Mhm.
Or no, you're going to set a cohort in there and they're going to step on a pressure plate and all of a sudden the whole room is going to collapse in on itself.
You know, I had this entire joke idea. And I'm probably not going to do it, but I just thought it was funny remembering the movie Alien and Aliens. About in Starfinder, you're hired to move cargo. It's like, all right, so I need you to move these 6 like fleshy-looking eggs, and sometimes the top of them will open up, and your knee-jerk reaction is to stick your face directly into it. You want to avoid doing that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we can make a trip of it, I suppose. Should we invite Ivy to this trip?
Yeah. Be happy to have her along.
I don't think that should be our priority right this second. We should do some other stuff before we go on this trip.
I agree, but this is something that should be taken care of before we. If
give it a season, and if we haven't recovered by then, we might have to replan. But
yeah, okay. I'll at least start making preparations for that, and maybe even reach out to what was that captain's name?
Oh,
Elspeth?
Elspeth. Yeah, I have to see if
we are going to be able to
Captain
get there, so that is true.
Yeah, so I think I'll make arrangements with Captain Elspeth to help us with an expedition.
Okay.
all right, we ready to go into actions?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing at the top, pick one of your attributes to increase.
I mean, might seems pretty important at this point. And especially since that does impact the army size we could have and our budget with it.
Mhm.
Right?
Second that.
I don't know. I was really kind of thinking lore.
Listen, it's not a perfect system. Commerce, remember, when the
Mm.
commerce gets higher, you can use more dice for your budget reconciliation rolls.
Oh, that's true.
So if you upgraded it to a D8, then you would select 4 dice and add those
Mm.
results together to equal or exceed the budget.
Mm. But at the same time, we get a fair amount of automatic reduction with might increase.
Just floating
Yeah.
the stuff out there.
No, I hear you. I definitely appreciate remembering that
Yep.
mechanic.
I think I vote might.
I vote
Might.
might.
Move along.
Realizing we need to hit him harder.
Cove's like, I heard 3 mites. Your opinions don't matter.
That carries the day. Vote to vote.
All right.
I mean, in my mind, that's all the more reason to call this group the Hand, just because.
I mean, we already have the middle finger.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that one might be better than I originally gave it credit for.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Council of
The
Idiots
King.
stays. I like it
The
too much.
Council of Idiots is still with the council room, and when we gather is called, of course, no matter what.
Mhm. So increasing your might by 1, that does reduce your budget by 1. If my records are correctly, this is season 3 of year 7.
I got to get the DVDs.
All right. You guys will receive some more information on some stuff moving about at the end of the season, but for now, it's what you guys wish to do.
I'll just say Ivy's is probably going to be to investigate that hole that everyone's all weird about.
Yep, we don't need to roll. I can always address that at the end of the season.
Yeah.
We affectionately referred to it as the bunghole.
The weird hole. All right. Ivy, the fist is thereby commanding you to send something down that hole.
The hand is telling her to fist the hole.
Delve deep.
Turns out it's a volcano and it starts erupting. Oh God, we got a gaper.
Oh Lord.
Holy shit. Yep.
This is why we paused when Richard said that one horny D&D game.
What sort of action would it take to merge our
All right,
organizations?
so that's going to be very simple. It's just going to need you. Remember, you guys can still split actions.
Yeah,
So
yep.
it's going to take at least one action from each of you.
Mhm.
We will do a roll of influence. Each of your guys' officer dies, and then just your organization dies. What this will be determining is if there's going to be any stress that's accrued from the merging of the organizations. But no matter what, you guys will be getting your new one at the end of the season.
Okay.
So let's see, both Nilgrim and Freya, you're D12s now. So when you split your action, you can go 2D6, or you can do a D8 and a D4. So it's up to you.
Okay. I think I'll do a 2d6.
All right, so you're going to contribute a single D6 to it then.
Yes.
All right, so that you still have a D6 for another action.
Actually, let me think on that.
Yep.
Somebody else could go first. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. Healing action, like restoring troops. Is that an
Okay,
option at
so
this point?
if you take an action, you
Mm.
can full heal a number of troops equal to your might die size, which will be 8. But no matter what, each troop will regain 8 of their number at the end of the season passive.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I think I zoned out. Is it an action to combine the organizations?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think I'll do a D4 and a D8. Do an D8 towards the organization merging,
Okay.
and a D4 towards fortifying the moose.
Okay, and I'll go all in on organization merging.
Okay. So we'll resolve the healing first. So look at the army on the side here, Loki, and pick 8 units to fully heal.
8 units to fully heal. Sweet. Okay. We'll go moose.
Is that 8 badges? Not just like 8 people.
Yeah,
hit points you're getting back.
Yeah.
8 units. They were all going to
that's
heal.
huge.
We'll
Yeah.
go the Clockwork Centurions,
All right.
or the Runework Centurions. We'll go the Goat Cavalry. That was 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll go Dwarf Defenders at the bottom there on the 3rd Army.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Dammerguard.
All right.
How many more do I have left?
I'll be right back.
That was 5, so you still have 3.
All right. Both Hammer Elites and the Quarrelers.
All right.
I think that's everybody.
There's a couple.
Oh, a few of these from work.
Yeah, but they'll heal up some naturally as well. Also, if you zoom in and you look close, I swapped out the tokens for like the Special Forces unit, so you'll see that they have a different looking border, so you can always
sweet.
tell them
Okay.
apart. They don't
Nice.
need to rotate anymore, so
Oh, nice.
should visually pop.
Yep.
I know Michael just stepped away. I'm gonna take a quick bio, so if you guys wanna, the rest of you
Yeah, I'll
want
do
to
the
take it up,
same.
that you're doing.
I think I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich. I'll be
Before
right back.
you get too
Oh.
far, thinking of upgrading the Forge District. Is that thing? Because I know I was upgrading the Fire Temples.
Yeah, you can upgrade the Forge District. I'll address
Okay.
that when I get back.
Yep. Start thinking on something else if it wouldn't be.
I'm back.
Mm-hmm. Imagine the others have wandered away.
Oh. Fine, I see how it is.
Outrolled since you're here and I'm here, and probably not a whole lot of RPing for it.
Mm.
And got 4 dice. Me, Industry, Dwarf Pop, and Heart of the Mountain. Could probably argue for the temples, but I actually kind of don't want them involved in that.
Yeah,
at the
fair
moment.
enough.
So they're all pretty big dice, so chances are it'll roll well enough.
Yeah. Let's see. You're
I'm
looking
back.
at a difficulty of 2d8 plus a d4 for economic stress. Okay, yeah. Pretty good.
It's a D8 kicker. So 20, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and I only got an 11. So that is enough to bump it up to a d10.
Must be upgrade. What? Oh,
Forge
Forge
District.
I got you.
Probably anything higher than the d10 on the Forge District, I'm going to say is going to increase budget, but just the d10.
Yeah. I also
Did we
kinda
want to spend a turn rebuilding Fort Helminggoat?
It might be an idea. But I also kind of, at the moment, we're cut off from the gem mine, which we were using for trade. So I figure the Forge District is probably our next best trade option.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it is season 3, so. Yeah, might do that. Might do the anti-fire dragon things that I've been thinking of. I had proposed forever ago, given that, now he's actually shown up, so.
Yeah, let's see. Looking at some of the other stuff, according to my notes here, that was already in the works. There was gem tech research. Freya was looking into soul reconstruction, the World Wound Fort on the wound side, tunnels of the World Wound that you were trying to turn into a trade road.
Yeah, the tunnel part was we got there, but then got pulled away from that.
Fergus had working on a magic potion making system to mass produce heal potions. and also there was some trying to boost diplomatic ties with the Freelings.
Yeah, with the tunnel to the World Wound part done, we have at least access to the Elves and a land route to some of the Drow holdings.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a land route we know the general location of. There's probably a land route to the north, but
I'm back.
Yep.
Are we still waiting for somebody, or was I the last person?
I haven't heard anything from Cope or Michael.
Gotcha.
Kenneth just rolled to boost the Forge District, so we just got that
Gotcha.
done. We do.
By the way, I did joke about it earlier, but you do have that Divine Intervention if you ever want to try to use it for Taskell, because the worst thing that happen, it doesn't work. It's just like it only has a cooldown if you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just suggesting it.
It's like once a day, and if you don't,
once a day, like level percentage chance to just have something shenanigan happen. DM delivery on how it works, but you know.
Oh yeah. Also, Richard, I went through the entire list of projects that had already started. It's been a while. You are at D4 progress on your magic potion making scheme.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my projects.
Yep.
And bringing up the tunnel to the World Wound, they reminded me that we do have a land route to those elves that you learned from.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the elves to be one of the main people we contact, because we have a land route to them now.
Yeah.
Every day, I so deeply regret that the first campaign I did large scale kingdom management was in a 3-dimensional space.
By the way, speaking of combat stuff, if this project I do have succeed, I would like to put forward the option of maybe having like a once per battle like global heal for our troops during mass combat.
I already got something going for you.
Okay.
I think you'll be happy with it.
I was just suggesting, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, this seems like something he would be making for his people rather than I'm going to mass produce it for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that project, and I have another project in mind afterwards that I'm going to be like splitting my actions multiple times. So.
It's taking it forever to roll shit for me today.
Roll20 was having some issues earlier. A good chunk of the day, the website was just fully down. So I was only able to get in and start doing stuff about like 2 hours before the game. That's a Cope back.
Probably should see that switching over to the other.
Can you split your die for training new units?
Yes, you just can't do 2 of the same unit.
Okay.
So if you wanted to train Hammer Elites, you then couldn't use your other one just to train Hammer Elites, because it's the same thing. But you could do Hammer Elites and then Defenders or a Levy unit or whatever.
Cool.
I don't know when Michael's getting back, but if you guys have anything that doesn't involve roleplay, we can just start doing rolls rather than waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was muted. Sorry. I'm going to be working on that. For half my action, it's going to be working on that machine to get it working.
Yeah.
And the other action is going to be sending a message or missive to the kingdom that has Lady Yinshi.
All right. So the sending a message will not require any kind of roll, but that is definitely not going to be anything you hear about until early next year, because
I figured
boat across the ocean.
I figured I'd do it as soon as I can, because then it's going to take a while to get a response.
Yes, absolutely.
But basically, I would stress that the need is urgent, and we request your aid, or at least a messenger to discuss aid at your quickest convenience, kind of thing. And even though it doesn't take an action, it still does split my die, right?
Yes.
So, guys,
what's in a D10?
It'll be like 10 more minutes.
All right.
If you were to send it on like a stone statue.
A D10 would be split into a D6 and a D4.
Okay, so I'll use the D6 for the crafting. I imagine it would be industry.
Yes.
That's a good point. If you started gifting dwarven statues to all the nations, you'd be able to teleport to them.
I mean, it wasn't my first thought about that. Like, I was like, I should just like offer, like, if we got to it, I was gonna start offering to build like not missionaries, but
Embassies.
free of charge. Basically, that we would build them and we would let them use certain services from them to basically want them to have them built. Like, hey,
Our embassies are also bars.
we will offer discounted rates for blacksmithing
ale
and have a
bars.
bar. Yeah,
I mean,
like, a
one
bar
wing
will
dedicated
make
to
some beaver
blacksmithing,
beers.
one wing dedicated to brewing. I think every city will like.
Wait, why would
yes,
it need to be
what?
two different
Yes.
wings? You brew while you blacksmith. Things hard, take a drink.
The temperature of them working together might be a little problematic.
That's why you start sending priests that worship booze to start crafting beers that taste the best when they're warm.
Very German.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Runework College as well, I imagine.
Mhm.
Let's see. Trying to think of anything else I can use.
Yeah. So
Can I implement, like, I'll just say one die for the temples to help me with the curative part of it?
yeah, you can use the fire temple.
Okay. Is Clan Shalebrew the one that's like technologically savvy?
No, you're thinking of Forge Sworn.
Forge Sworn. Okay, I will utilize them as well.
All right.
So yeah, the Fire Temple, the Clan Forge Sworn, Industry, Fergus, the Runework College, and I think that's it right now.
All right.
I can't think of anything else that I would add. So whammies. Well, I'll take the 6 and the 8.
Yep, I'm not even going to bother to roll because it was a difficulty of 2d4 and then with an additional d4 due to economic stress. So it's physically impossible for me to equal what you own. So, first things first, I will get you a new asset. What would you like call this? Potion brewery? Potion?
Yeah, like until I can think of something better, potion manufactory or potion, yeah,
Distillery.
distillery,
Brewer, I don't know. We'll do that one. And then
restoration distillery. I don't know. I'll think of it. I'll workshop the name.
Yeah, it's a D6. That's the
Alchemist?
important bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was just trying to make sure it was firmly the healing potions.
Yeah, just help to keep people healthy, kind of thing. And, like,
Yes. All right. If you look at levy units, you have a new levy unit option.
Levy units. Healing card.
And remember, levy units do not need to roll to build. You could just get one as an action.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, that's a good thing to have.
Mhm.
Always nice. 8 per battle for a greater cure.
Mm-hmm.
To have that in just the center of a big military group that just charges forward.
Yeah, and you can have several as much as you want. So.
Cool beans.
Mm-hmm.
Fergus feels like he has actually something productive he left behind.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to know that I will leave something for my kingdom other than just so many bastard children.
You ain't had time for that.
I'm just glad I'm able to leave my kingdom with something other than a succession crisis.
Now, if you're talking about bastard children, that like everyone I've sent to war has died, and they have a bunch of children that are now bastards, that's different.
That's orphans.
And they're bastards to me.
My thing was funnier about you.
Yeah, there's a difference, Richard. Bastards go to hell.
And orphans don't go anywhere because they can't do anything.
What are they going to do? Kill their parents. Anyway, so that is Ivy, Nilgrim, and Fergus.
Mm-hmm.
Freya, you wanted to put all yourself into merging the organizations, right?
Yes.
All right. So that will be a D12 from you, a D6,
D8.
or no, a D8 from Nilgrim. This will definitely be influence. And then it'll just be Hearthstone MA and the Runework College. Normally I let you select, but this is kind of a special one. And from 1d6 from political and 1d4 from economic. All right. When you're ready, you can roll it.
Sorry, I stopped typing it because I thought you were typing it. What are the distinctions?
Yeah, for this
D12
roll,
for you, D8 for me, D6 for influence, a D8 for Hearthstone Military Academy, and D8 for Runework College.
Yep, just those.
And then Hearthstone Military Academy is another D8.
No distinctions from the dwarven population?
No.
Okay.
This is a very special merging factions roll, so it's only taking into account that. Not to mention, I don't think dwarves are specifically famous for logistical merging of organizational bodies.
Fair. You're fair.
Okay. I have. Wait, is it Runework College and Hearthstone?
Yes.
Okay.
So it should be 3d8, 1d12, and 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
So 3, 1d12, 1d6. Yep.
All right. You don't need a kicker, so you can just select the two highest. So that's 10. And I got a 9. All right. So you managed to merge your organizations without causing any undue stress on the kingdom's infrastructure.
Heck yeah.
So, this actually wraps up 3 nice things into one package. The idea of the anti-dragon wards, and me staring at the Undergate at the D4 and realizing it's been 7 years, and just picturing in the Underdark a little white picket fence with the gate unhinged and swinging back and forth. And a thing that will keep Taskell occupied for several seasons so that, Loki can slip off to maybe unseal an ancient evil. And that is, if I can get all 3 temples and the Undergate up to a D8 or D10, we can make the mountain effectively so that shit can't just tunnel in like the dragon did.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of holy ward or something like, so that it has a weak point. It's actually
giant gopher nets under the ground.
Yeah. So that he could still march his orcs in, but he wouldn't be able to just come in and tear shit up unless he busts through a gate. Which he could still do. He's an ancient dragon.
Some kind of ward over the grounds and ceilings and walls.
Mm-hmm.
Like a forbidden spell specifically for him.
Well, it's open more generalized tunnels.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's something that you can do, because you were talking about doing that next season, because you use this season to upgrade the Forge District, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, that's the next several seasons.
Yep. I believe that will just leave Thrum then.
Sure, Thrum's just going to train, so he's going to split his die into 2.
All right.
On the first, he's going to train Hammer Elites.
All right.
And it looks like, does he have a D10 now?
Yes.
Okay, so he could use a D6 and a D4
Correct.
if he split his die. So D6 for this, 8 might, D8 dwarf population? Does that go into soldiers?
Not in this one, no.
Okay.
Also, also gives the Ancient Evil a reason to put more pressure on Loki to come and unshield him. It's going to be tightening the bond between the area and the gods.
Our assets moved.
Yeah, sorry, because the two their military academy and college merged into one and became a new officer.
Okay, so I can no longer use that to help train.
Well, next season you can always team up with that office or any die that it splits, but not this season.
Is this supposed to be College of Might and Magic?
It's Magic and Metal, but it was too long, so it's College of M&M.
Man, they must make some mean spaghetti.
You can always
They learned it from their mom.
Don't lose the moment.
You can always use the Fire Temple. They usually have warriors, and you can use the Forge District to manufacture the armor for Hammer Elites.
Okay, Forge District. Sorry, I had it all typed out, and I was going to go through and just confirm it all with y'all, and then those two disappeared.
Well, I guess it wouldn't disappear until the end of the season, so you can use your a D8 for the college.
Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5. There we go.
All right. So choose the dice you would use, and then choose the kicker.
7 and a 5. Kicker is a. Does it have to be a high roll, or can it just be a D8?
You can just
the
use
D12 because the
D12
D12
just
only
want you
rolled
the
the
12.
2.
All right. And looks like you're getting your Hammer Elite.
Cool. All right, and then with the 1d4, he's gonna create a. What's the basic dwarven?
Oh, the
dwarf defender.
Defender. Yep.
So, same ones I assume are available.
Yep. Easier.
So that's +1, 2. All right, so we'd use 8 and 6, 14 with the kicker, with a D8 kicker.
Look at those ones. Yep, you get your defenders.
All right. Restocking.
Yep. I'm just loading them up in Dammerhall. All right, let me just quickly take account of your military units. I'm keeping track of the budget on a spreadsheet here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, don't worry about the budget.
All right, yep. That is going to be army size of 3. All right, so your current budget is 15. Okay, so moving into season 4, I will also just take this time to remind you everything where your budget's going. You guys have got budget going to the Undergate, Thrum Security Force, the Adventuring Guild, your army, Hearthstone Academy, which is now going to be significantly not there because legitimized it. Then you've got the tunnel checkpoints, the holy wards around the lava pool that spits out undead, Fort Flagstone, and then the Golem Foundry. So you currently have a budget of 11.
Heck yeah, for the military-industrial complex.
This will have serious long-term implications for our society.
Crank 'em
But
out,
right
baby.
now, it's fucking rad. Let's go buy some Harriers. Who
Yes,
cares if
please.
the army tells us, please stop buying tanks?
We'll put them in the desert.
We'll just keep sending it underwater.
All right, so before we get into any roleplay or anything else you want to do, a few things move around as we enter the 4th season of the 7th year. The Iron Cloak Scouts have reported that the Orc army has pulled out of this area and is being moved up north to areas unknown. Early attempts to reconnect with the dwarves of the Hallforge territory and the gem mine have shown that the area has been significantly raided. There are survivors in the area, but it will take an action to get it up and running again after the devastation.
Well, maybe Hallforge will actually build some defenses this time.
I feel like Helmengard's going to be our Florida. It's just getting constantly destroyed, and we're going to have to pay to rebuild it.
I
Yeah,
will also
but-
emphasize you guys are Hallforged.
Yeah.
Hallforge is you.
Oh,
or
shit.
just
a
The
Helmengard.
insurance loophole benefits us.
So, one thing to
It's
consider
helping.
is building a fort there and a fort there, or even just holding this area, claiming this area for ourselves.
Well, that one doesn't cut off anything from north there. So,
I mean, but it's right next to a junction.
it does prevent
But
them from
granted, yeah,
just
this-
waltzing into this area if we hold this and have forts.
Yeah.
But
Also,
just go
do we-
straight south as well.
Couple more things before
okay.
before I end my little narrative here.
If it-
Your army that's still camped out in the ruins of Fort Helmengoat, they do get a flyby by an orc on a wyvern who drops a parcel written in crude orcish that essentially says that by order of Lord Maladraxus the Red, there will be a diplomat isn't the right word. Envoy? I don't know. Orcish word for a person who talks instead of stabbing you. Who will be arriving early next year.
Think you call that a
I feel
warlock.
like the orc word for diplomat would somehow involve stabbing with words.
We are going to send the emotional stabber.
High word, Shanka.
I mean, dwarves are
that
probably
was
called speaksmiths.
that
so.
that was a bit from a Warhammer 40k book from orc perspective, where the orc war boss Gazgril got all of his orcs to be patient by convincing them that being patient was a fight, but in your mind. Also,
That's
Yep.
very much like talking to children.
yes.
I need to read those books.
Yes, 20-foot tall children.
Yes. He also convinced them that he was genuine by stripping naked and standing on a cold balcony for a year. I wouldn't recommend doing
Yeah,
that,
that's
Chico.
Use the restroom.
that's illegal. And you go to jail for that.
Cope's already been there.
Nope. Let's not put that joke on the internet.
All right.
I'm in too many organizations.
Ivy's scouts do come back from the shaft that went down deep into the earth, by the way. So, did Michael just leave again?
I think so, yes.
Okay. I want to wait until he gets back for hearing news.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
addition
I
to-
love that the meat cleaver for the orc who talks. By the way,
Mhm.
very nice.
So, in addition to reclaiming the not Hallforge.
One
Helmengard.
thing to
Yeah,
consider.
Helmengard
Do we
territory.
want to now tunnel into Hallforge from this route here?
Maybe, but what I was getting at is we reclaim Helmengard's territory.
Yeah. Yep.
And take, if we can take, where's the pointer again? Yeah. Take these 4. We significantly cut down the number of frontier forts, especially if we can just like make a fort out of these 2 small, huge caves. Plus, I recall Cope had a probably ill-advised plan to make bullet net mounts for our army.
Michael certainly.
Fuck you, I'm doing it.
I didn't say it wouldn't be awesome. I just said it's probably not going to work.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a whip, there's a way.
Nobody tells middle finger no.
But yeah, that would, aside from people just doing what we're probably going to do and tunnel through, but at least deters soft attacks.
What was? I'm trying to remember. Weren't we trying to recruit the barbarian clan and give them land?
Yeah, probably.
I think
I believe
Fergus
at one point we were. We kind of dropped by the wayside for the war. So
it might be a good way to occupy a bullet nest, and maybe even if they want to take some more of these frontier ones, I think I think barbarians are well suited for frontier life.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll hit them up for my next action to try to politicize people.
But yeah, if we press
I like that. Politicize
especially
people.
becomes a linchpin because if they manage to get through there, they can cut off that one.
Yeah.
But that otherwise just gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 points to fortify, as opposed to needing to fortify like a dozen what we currently hold.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Forgesworn could probably take the Broken Lab. I feel like that's a pretty well-suited clan for that, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm. It's also close to the current holdings.
Yeah. If we scouted this one, found nothing interesting there, right?
Yeah, just the trail.
Just signs of orcs. Yeah.
Where to show that.
So I think probably, do we want to see if Shalebrew wants this one while Helmengard resettles this and offer this and possibly even this to the barbarian?
That works.
Yeah, because I think the ones that we don't have really strong connections with right now. Cinderax. I'm not sure. Do we have Grimpire? I don't think we do.
No, Grimpower was pretty bad, but wasn't Cinderax the one that you kind of bonded with because you fought their clan?
Yeah.
So I think that would be, especially since we're like, hey.
Wait, was it them or was it Oakensunder that I wound up fighting?
Oh, I think it might have been
No, that was Cinderax. Oakensunder as the elf races.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's why I haven't really been talking to them too much.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Highcliff, but they've been kind of like probably meddling from the distance. We haven't really had much communication with them.
Mm-hmm.
They probably don't want the frontier.
If you need somebody to talk to all these people, you just let Middlefinger go.
Maybe the elven races I'll let you talk to. You can bond.
Well,
This will go well.
The elven races like crossbows and light armor and aren't big on traditions.
Yep, they just hate elves, which is like
yep.
Like, I used to picture the first time Fergus is relating to that. I was like, oh, these people seem great. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you're just getting the 4 like, okay.
Maybe they're only a little racist. I keep reading. Oh no, they wear ears.
Oh no.
Oh no, they're extra racist.
Yeah. Like, dwarves having a beef against elves is pretty common, but even when most dwarves are like, okay, like, tap the brakes a bit, pal. Like,
yeah.
you're going far.
When the grudge blade's like, ooh.
What if we make a grudge blade and their whole thing is to get rid of our own grudges?
When the grudge blades are like, you guys need to simmer down a bit.
A grudge therapist.
A grudge therapist, yes. New job for you, Nolgrim. You're gonna turn into a grudge therapist.
There you go. I mean, I am restructuring it, and that was part of the
Yep.
college. So there we go.
Yeah,
On it.
when you restructure to have those knights, I already have the special forces unit prepared.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
All right. So Ivy's scouts have returned from the hole. At a meeting of the Council of Idiots, Ivy comes in with some scrolls. Says, "I got reports back from those scouts that I sent down there. They were pretty shooken up, but it doesn't look like they were discovered. Do you want the good news or the bad news first?"
I
Bad
mean,
news
let's just
first.
pile up the bad news.
Okay, so there appears to be a very sizable army underneath our feet. Way, way, way deep down. But the scouts reported mile or two long tent camps.
Of
Drow, aberrant things that I'm not familiar with. Skinless clawed horrors.
So this is a doomsday scenario then.
they do seem to be. That seems to be the direction we're needing to go. So.
Good news is.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Thank God.
I thought that was the good news. Okay.
I'm
You said
glad
the
I
bad
saved that
news.
for
You said to
last.
pile up on the bad news.
Yeah, no. I am glad.
If you
Listen,
say you
it's a sad
changed
day
your
when
answer
that's
to
considered
Geico,
not that bad.
Yeah, I need a pick me up. Yes, please give it.
if you say you changed your insurance to Geico, I'm gonna be
It's
pissed.
Taco Tuesday.
So it would appear that several miles down through the earth, beneath Dammerhall, is the Derogar city of what we can only assume is Dir Amaruk. It is a large hexagonal-shaped metropolis that they were able to see from a distance via glowing lights. It appears to be suspended over. Flips through. Let's see. According to the scouts, a bottomless pit into the inky black void at the center of our world.
Sorry, could you say that one more time?
The city is suspended over a bottomless inky black pit to the empty void at the center of our world. That's what they wrote here.
Okay,
She
that's what I thought you said.
Okay.
I thought we asked for the good
City
news.
is suspended above. a
Well,
black
that
pit.
was the good
Yeah.
news. We found our.
we found it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
found it, guys. Mission
So,
accomplished. The banner
is
comes
it-
down.
So you guys
Even
were
better if
right.
the
You all
balloons
you
are
all earned
already
a
half
cookie.
deflated because we've been waiting for it for so long.
So we do appear to have located Encephalon's seat of power and the city of Dir Amaruk, but it appears heavily surrounded by the dragon's forces.
Well, at least we know.
Oh,
Where
which
the
is
enemy
where
is.
my invention comes into place.
And
Yeah. It's
So
unlikely
do we
that-
think the Drow are attacking the Durgor?
Definitely not, says Ivy. They appear to be camped out there along with those other things. It looks like more of like a mustering area. As far as we know from Calibur's tale, Dir Amaruk was abandoned We would need to talk to a Daragard to get that side of the story, but
I mean, we know where it is now. Now we just need to figure out how to get there. I imagine we're not going to be able to send our whole army down that little hole.
no.
Definitely have to guard the hole, though. Although they won't be able to march up, we can't march down.
Unless we make a
Burger hole.
Dun, dun,
Do we have
dun.
anything we could pour down the hole to burn it?
Slowly with water. Just
Cauterize the hole.
The necrotic lava around the golem foundry.
Okay, hear me out. I'm actually planning something for this hole. I have a plan. It's called Preparation H. I went through preparations A through all the other letters until I got to
When
A.
you said I actually
I never want to hear Richard say again. Okay, I have a plan for this hole.
That's what I was gonna say. I was concerned when I heard Richard say I had a plan for this hole.
Oh, Richard's been on. Yep, 9 out of 10
I'm
for
on
Richard
something
tonight. He's on a roll.
I'm definitely on something.
Definitely the night of Richard.
Yep.
Oh God, I don't want to
The
be
night
known
of
for
Richard
this.
in the hole.
I don't want to be known for the hole.
We're
The night of
gonna
the
play
hole.
Baldur's Gate, and he's just gonna keep
Well,
cooking.
don't forget about the horny
Like, how do I
D&D
romance
game.
you?
You can be the whole miser.
I can't. Anyway.
All right. So that is the report from Ivy's scouting team. We don't have any detailed information on the terrain other than the location of the city and what it appears to be over. I could try sending more people down there. The more we send, it's just going to get progressively riskier.
I think this information is a good start. We have something to give the envoy of Maladraxxus, and this is good information. I don't think we need to move further on it at this point.
I mean, not to be the devil's advocate here or argue against putting people's lives at risk, but I mean, Cephalon knows where we are already, and he knows that we know. So obviously, I don't want people to get caught, but it's not like we're going to give the game away.
No, for sure. I still think we should keep tabs on it.
We should definitely keep spies with eyes on the army.
Maybe
if they have another route in or another plan to get up other than the little tunnel, maybe they collapse the tunnel and already have stairs set or something crazy.
I actually don't think he's at much risk of invading us. Remember, his plan is going to kind of destroy everything.
Yeah, but
his
at
force
this
is
point,
most likely to defend him at a critical juncture.
yeah, but also, that's what we're going to have to punch through to get to where we need to go. So that is an obstacle, and good to prepare to just hit it with everything we've got.
Can't we? Doesn't somebody know how to magic us there?
I mean, didn't they say that there was a field of magic or a field that prevented just going there?
Caliber did say that you can't go directly into the city. If maybe the cavern around it is a question, but it depends if you wish to drop your entire party into the center of the army.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
If we were gonna go in SEAL Team 6 up in that bitch, I think we should probably have something that can block us from all detection, all vision, everything.
But in all honesty, I think it's going to have to be we mount up all the forces we have and just charge in and just create an opening for that specialty team that most likely is us. And go in for the heart of the dragon.
I like this idea. I think we get a good night and rest, and let's go kill everybody tomorrow.
Whoa.
starting with that guy.
We're bringing back the SS.
Oh God.
This time, no euphemisms. It stands for the German word, whatever it was.
Yeah.
No, you mean the Durgar word.
Just Drum opens the door. Hans, warm up the camps.
Oh God.
God damn. Oof.
All right. So, actions. Now that you guys have the update.
Crossbred the Simpsons meme and the Are We the Baddies meme.
Yep.
Are we the baddies? No, it's the other races who are wrong.
People really believe that.
All right, so actions. You guys have got your new information. You got the runes out in the Sunless Sea. If anyone wants to, it is definitely going to be an action to do that because you're leaving the city and you're not going to be in contact with anyone.
Nah, screw that.
Well, I mean, you're not involved.
I know. We should forget about that and just go down to the army.
But
Everybody.
that's the
now.
benefit of the College of Metal and Magic is that it is its own independent office now. So even when you guys do other stuff, that can obviously still be rolling.
Yeah.
So I think at this point it would be helpful to utilize some of actions to start reestablishing. See if that can't lower some of the stresses we're experiencing, and just in general helping us reestablish a front line.
Do you have
Thoughts?
something?
Because I already proposed the signing of territories, and I think with that we could start looking at where we want forts.
Yeah, assigning
Yeah.
the territories is going to
Yeah, I
need to be a Fergus thing because he's
So-
the one that awards Jarldoms.
Yeah.
As for any fort-based construction project, that can be spread around.
Mm.
For the College of Metal and Magic, that stuff that Michael sent in the PDF, that's all good to go. Just each one of those things will be its own separate project that you will roll on. But
probably
after,
now that we
after
Go
reading and reviewing it, you don't need anything special. You look like you just have everything you need to do all three of those things without really any difficulty. So
Yeah. We just got started, so yeah, you go ahead and take point on the College of Metal and Magic for this first turn, and then after that, Freya, I think, will have unveiled all those plans to you.
To me?
Yeah, to you, Nolgrim, my confidant in the College of Metal and Magic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just did you ever send me the updated version that you sent, Gumbo?
I just have
yeah.
the one that Michael sent.
Yeah, it has the stuff added in it that you wrote.
Okay.
I can send the updated version.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
If I can find it, actually, I might have deleted it. Yeah, Gombo, you go ahead and just send it.
Yep, I'll send it.
Okay.
All right. While that's doing what it does, what's anyone else want to do?
Still trying to decide on.
So, go ahead, Ken.
I was just saying, I'm still trying to decide on what to add. I'm probably going to split my action between upgrading the temples and restoring the Undergate.
Yep. Each temple will need to be upgraded individually.
Oh yeah. I was going to say I'm going to do the thing where I'm like, all right, 3, come here. You each get to pick who gets upgraded first. And you can't pick yourself. So it's fair.
It still comes to a stance.
They all point to a different one, and it's a perfect three-way circle.
I'll be right back, guys. I have to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Has to be closed ballot.
All right, fine. Mountain Temple first.
Ah, clear favoritism.
Yes.
I only had one child for a reason.
Yes, the other ones died as stillbirths.
The other ones didn't earn my love.
Yikes.
They weren't able to kill that wolf when I gave him a sharp rock.
And if we had the gem miner stored, I wanted that for like decorative purposes, but we don't.
No.
The temple will work on its own upgrade.
Definitely.
And probably it's the Forge District for the industry and labor. Although I didn't pick out a attribute yet.
This would probably be an influence. It's always tempting to say industry, but this feels like more you're playing the political game than anything else.
Oh yeah. And at this point, it's kind of leaning towards lore because it's more.
That's good
upgrade.
too. It's a D6
That's
either
more-
way.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries. Taskel's just upgrading the mountain temple.
Gotcha.
Trying to.
Okay. Split evenly D6 towards both for me. 12 now. Do-
All right. So this is for the temple.
13,
All right, so
D6
that's
kicker.
D6 kicker. All right, so that manages to upgrade the mountain temple. The political stress will go up by 1 because temples are prissy, and whenever any one of them gets an upgrade, the other ones get emotional.
Mhm.
For your undergate, restoring the undergate, are you just wanting to increase the garrison? Or are you doing something magical? Because if you just want to increase the garrison, that's just an increase in budget, and you don't have to roll for the action.
Kind of both, I guess. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to create like a focal point type deal for
Right? Yeah,
enchantment across the mountain.
that's very
The blessings
doable.
of our gods.
Which do you want to do first?
And I guess I'm got a decent roll, so I guess I'll do the something magical option.
Yep. All right, sounds good. Let me
Carve
just.
out the sacred space deep in the fortress.
You do that, and then D6 for political.
So 15 to 58.
All right. All right, so that's 13. So it bops it down to, let's see. So it's a D6, so it's 3 steps. So 8, D6. Yeah, so it's 2D4 is how the wards are ongoing.
Okay.
I'm noting this down. All right, that's Taskell.
Before I do my action, I think we've been forgetting my metal thing inside of my body.
Right, good call. Constitution at advantage.
I just thought about that. I'm like,
All right, then another one. All right, you don't lose any more hit dice this last 2 seasons.
Gotcha. I think I'm down 4 hit die right now.
Yep.
Okay. So part of my action is I'm going to split it again. One's going to be rebuilding the Helmengard area.
Yep. All right. No
And-
roll necessary for that.
Yep, basically just trying to get them back up to basically having their own area again.
Yep.
And the other one's going to be reaching out to Cinderax to see if they want to be the front lines for the drow/orc menaces that could always inevitably come after us.
Gotcha. The Cinderax one, reaching out to Feared Molten Fist. That will be a roll there.
Let's see. I'll use the D6 for this. For me. And then influence. Let's see. I forget. Is this one I can use the dwarven population for?
No, it's politics.
And not the dwarven, the historic capital either?
You can use historic capital.
Okay.
Does he get any sort of bonus for the pre-existing relationship, or?
I am going to be not including political stress.
Okay.
In part of the difficulty.
Okay.
Anyone mind if I use that last weapon stockpile to really seal the deal?
I feel our budget has got a fair amount of breathing room, so go for it.
Oh yeah, we could use it for our budget too. Do you want to savor that or not?
No, we dropped our budget by 4, so.
Yep. I still always find it funny how the Forsworn used backroom dealing to give you those weapons and to raise an army, and you guys have been exclusively just selling them for profit.
It's very American of us.
Yes.
But to be fair, we are hoping to arm, a barbarian clan on the front lines.
Yes, we all know how much Paleolithic barbarians love high-tech runic laser guns.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what it was.
And mortars and shit.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh well.
I mean, I'm good to save that for.
Yeah, we can save it.
Else.
And none of the clans we have have a connection to Cinderax very much, really, right?
They do not. No.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure there's nothing else I could use because I think I'm just rolling 3 d6s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, plus yours. Oh yeah.
Well, that's one of them because I split my action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just double checking anything else I could get. No.
If you want to involve the Fire Temple, can.
Nah.
Fair enough.
Fergus doesn't really want to get involved with the church more than he has to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's happening this week or this season.
That's fair.
All right, so just 1d.
You're hoping for double 1 or all ones across the board.
Yeah, if he gets all ones.
It's an 8. So progress is ongoing.
Yeah.
Honestly, with those rolls, it's a good thing I didn't use that weapon stockpile.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, unless it was a 12.
Right.
Yeah, if it was a 12, that's different.
But 1 in 12 chance of that.
Couldn't happen.
All right. That was half your act. Oh no,
and the other one was to start rebuilding the Helmengard area.
Yeah, they're not getting their goat ranch up and running yet because they just established by the end of the season, but it's ongoing.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted them to know that the king cares.
Uh-huh.
I will say also, before we start the actions for next season, I do have a scene I want to do.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be at the end of the season, so continue on.
All right. That leaves Nulgrim, Freya, Thrum, Ivy, and the College of Metal and Magic. Okay. Remember, if anyone who wishes to take a trip out into the sun, the sea, that's just going to take up anything you can do in the season.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't split actions. It's just your entire time because you're gone for 2 months.
Kind of look at the scale of what we're facing. I think Nulgrim wants to give it another season or 2, just to get through diplomacy stuff. Also, you said that doing one of the 3 for the college, for my Knights of Retribution, would that be an action for the college or Nulgrim or either or?
Either or. You can
Okay.
even work together, and you could add both a Milgram die and a college if you want.
Okay. Okay, I think I might go that route.
All right.
Still trying to think of exactly how I want to do it. If anybody has something on hand already, go for it. No? Okay. Then I'll
Yep.
do... Oh, you got it, Thrum?
Yeah, I'm just training again.
Okay.
All right.
Same as before. The elite unit hammers.
All right.
Use a 9 and a 3 would be 12,
And a 10
and
kicker. So you got it.
then same thing, but with a D4 to make the basic units. A 6 and a 4 would be a 10. A 10 kicker.
Got it.
Cool. All right. Even though I slaughtered, got a bunch of our troops killed, I've replenished what we lost.
All right.
You found their sons, and you're like, hey, your dad left some unfinished business.
You found and
Hey.
really motivated the Woad Chipper clan.
I kept this. I kept this pocket watch up my ass for your dad.
My
I give it
father.
to.
That's all they can say.
Listen, the orcs targeted your parents specifically. I did everything I could when I ordered them to charge. But if you want to swear vengeance, I would totally be in support of that.
My father.
Martha!
You get my point.
Could you sign this document saying that you'll give a decade or 3 of your life to the government?
Father.
I mean, for
Yes. And look on
For
page
somebody
2,
that
you
lives
do
500,
know
it's
that
not
there
too
will
bad.
be no pay.
Yes. In fact, according to this, you owe us money. Yeah. It's this weird thing where you join the army and then you accrue debt. It's like a student loan.
U.S. Dwarf A, your insurance actually pays us for your father's death.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you have to
so
make up the premium difference. God, it's gonna be fun when I play Dave in the Starfinder game. I'm gonna get a whole spreadsheet. I'm gonna keep track of how much credits you guys owe the company.
I'm looking forward to that.
Wait,
final
is his
bill.
name Dave, or are you going to be Jake from State Farm?
No, it is what was it? It was
And real quick, do you
Oh,
have
it-
prices for each like spell level, or how are you?
I'm gonna get there. I need to double check and make sure I real life understand insurance premiums and and all that fucking bullshit that's designed just to rob you.
Right, right. So that sort of mindset is very fitting for my campaign.
Mhm. Yeah.
I will say when you start brainstorming that and want to get in the nitty gritty, my father was an insurance agent and my wife was an attorney for an insurance company.
Yeah.
So I got answers.
Yeah. I watched an entire video when I moved out on my own to understand how health insurance worked. And at the end of the 15-minute video, I'm like,
I understand less.
So it's this con,
I was
right?
about to say now
Everything I just watched just told me that it says if you do this, you give the company money in addition to the money that you're already giving. Like this is a con, right?
And if you don't, you die.
Yes.
I mean, when we're starting to get into those details, why the fuck doesn't they just send us a bill for our taxes or give us the money? They can do that all themselves. They make us do it for no reason.
TurboTax lobbies our government, and the Supreme Court says they're human.
Yep. Anyway, before I start getting
I had to
A
get
lot
that
of
out.
accountants would be out of work.
Except I think the Supreme Court actually says they're like something even more than human, because I think can't a person give a certain amount of money, but a corporation can bypass that somehow.
Probably.
Yeah.
And corporations are allowed to keep people, but not humans. But anyway,
Well, everyone's allowed to kill people as long as you become the president.
Yes. All right. So yeah, Thrum's boosted the military power here.
I think I'm going to go all in on the Knights of Retribution.
All right.
So that will be 1d12 for Nolgrim.
All right. So this is going to be a 2d10 base, plus 1d4 civic, and then plus 1d8 or political.
Would this be influence, or would this be?
I would say more of a lore.
Lore. Okay. 1d6 either way. Dwarf population for this?
This one specifically, yes, because grudges, because you're pulling.
That's why I figured.
The real hot button question is, do you want to include the ancestor temple in this or not? Traditionally, they are associated with grudge blades. While it will not have a mechanical aspect, including them is signaling that your new grudge blade order is still going to have strong ties to the ancestor temple. So that's a choice of what you want to do.
I guess kind of as part of the season, Nolgrim would have been spending time just kind of spending time with the Ancestor Temple and just kind of see where their minds are at a new take on the Grudge Blades.
As long as they're a part of it, they're all in. They are desperate to have something that they can lord over the other people, because currently the Ancestral Temple is the least represented because they have the least important part in government. So they're not big sticklers about what type of justice or vengeance you're meting out, so long as they can put their name on it.
Okay. He probably
obviously
have
more
some
eloquently than that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, he probably kind of seeing them how eager they are. He'd probably kind of write up a sort of agreement that kind of favors them a bit more. The Grudge Blades a bit more, where kind of pawns on the clerical work, to the clerics. So then, yeah, he would allow the Ancestor Temple.
All right.
So I got.
And are you having the College of Magic and Metal also joint action this?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Got it.
I do think at some point we should have the college establish like a core of engineers to have another asset down here to replace our one we just lost. Like a specifically trained engineers for the college.
Yeah, very doable.
Can't think of anything else, so let's go with that. Okay.
All right. Roll them.
That'll be 13 with a D12 kicker.
All right. So this is what it comes down to, because it's a difficulty of a D10. So long as you beat it with a D12, you can get it through in this one season. And
9.
Good for you. I'm not rolling high this season. Or this session, not season. All right. So let me. What is the?
Yeah. I'm glad I brought the temple, and that was well, I guess, but still gave me the. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm just modifying your Special Forces document. So one moment.
Okay.
And I think I'm just going to train some Centurions.
Yeah.
It's looking like, well, that's what I'm going to do this round. That would be what, industry or might?
Either. Probably industry because you're more manufacturing, but it's a D8.
No, it's a D8 either way now.
Yeah. If you go to Special Forces at the bottom, you see Grudge Retributors.
Okay.
They can do some mighty high damage.
All right, whenever you get to it.
In the Centurions, they are 2d8 plus 1d4 for economic and 1d8 for population. So what's your total and what's your kicker?
So it would be 6, 9. So I'd want it to be.
Because it's a D8 difficulty. So if your kicker is a
Yeah.
D8 or higher, if you succeed, you'll automatically build them. But if you rolled a high number, like your 9 is on the D10.
Yeah, we always get back to the system, and I get confused by it. I feel. So is it just that I want the higher numbers?
Okay, so what it is you pick 2 numbers to add together to see if you succeed or
Pick
fail.
2 numbers to add together.
And then
See if fail.
and then the kicker, as we've been calling it, is you choose one of the dice that you roll that's the dice size, and you can't use a kicker that is
Okay,
the same
now I
as the
remember.
other.
Yeah.
So, like for
yeah,
example, you
so
could use
then
that
it would
D6 with the D12 if you wanted to.
Yeah, so I would do. So I want to do 9 and 6 with a D12 kicker, right?
Yes. All right. So we're looking for a 15.
I always completely forget how to do that between sessions.
No worries. I got a 10, which means you get your Centurions. All right. And then, do you guys have anything for Ivy to do?
Do we want her to explore the frontier a bit? See where these tunnels go?
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to explore one.
Seems like that was the plan.
All right. Which direction?
I think this way seems. Well, hold on. Let me think. Do we think the orcs want this way? I imagine so.
Mhm.
So the question is, do we want to see what goes up this way, or do we want to go up this way? Any preferences? Oh. Anybody?
Sorry, show me again. I wasn't paying
Which of
attention.
these 2 blue lines do you think we should explore?
Let's explore. Let's bring up this side, I think, so that we don't get flanked or something. Right here.
Okay.
All right.
Because I can see maybe something coming that way.
Oh, that's a big tunnel.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Did I mess up the gray things again? I did a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yes. Quite sizable cavern up there.
Could you use blue to mark? Because I'm not sure if there's a entryway on this side or not.
Yep, one moment. Where to go? Nope, that's the effects tool. Oh, there it is. There. And that's it. All the other tunnels should be pretty visible to you.
Is this just a giant open caravan?
That's what. No, that's the wall.
Oh, that's pure wall here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I didn't put a line.
I got you. All right. Good to know. All right. Thank you.
Mhm. And of course, you don't know what else is in there because you haven't done a survey.
Right.
So
Yep.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I my grandmother had called on the phone, so I had to deal with it.
No problem.
Kind of important call. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
so did you guys decide what Ivy was gonna do, or
Yeah, she scouted out this cavern here.
which? Oh, okay. I was gonna say it was either that or have her people go down and investigate underneath, but you guys figured it out.
Yeah.
And I believe that's everyone. So let me quickly take stock of the army to make sure your budget's up to date. $21.
Budget. I don't
All right.
need no stinking budget.
So budget is still the same. So we'll do some budget reconciliation. So that's going to be a D8 for Thyrus. You will then have a D8 from industry and commerce, and then whatever else you want to leverage. Remember, we're going to roll and then we're going to select 3 dice and add the result together.
So I'm sorry. Repeat what it was. It was Thyrus. It was
Industry and commerce, and then you can select any other assets that you're trying to get for additional money. We usually roll a 1d2 to see if the Adventurers Guild has turned a profit this year.
Yeah, let's do that.
2 is
1d2.
Yeah, 2 is a good answer.
I guess I'll do it.
All right.
Bad answer.
It continues to not have dividends.
This seems fair.
Are the privateers lucrative at all?
Yes, they can bring in some, so you can add them to it.
Okay.
Trying to think of anything else. We can have the weapon stockpile if we need to. I would
Forge
say
District you usually use as well.
Forge District. I would say we could even probably that potion brewer I did. We probably could start selling stuff from that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it is like for our people, but also we could use it to unload some extras.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
I'm not sure if anyone's tallying this together, so.
I have not been. Right, I'll go ahead and do it. All right, so what was the first one? That was Thyrus, so 8.
Thyrus, and then industry, which is 8. Commerce, which is a D6. Forge District, a D10. Hellspit Privateers is another D10.
I got Thyrus, industry. What else?
Commerce.
Okay.
And then Forge District.
Forge District.
That's a 1d8.
It's a D10, I think.
It's a D10. It got upgraded.
Okay.
A D6 for the potion brewer.
Mm-hmm.
And a D10 for the privateers.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, or is that it?
That should be it.
That should be it.
Yeah. You select 3 dice. You need to hit 11 or higher. You see, this is why I tell you guys that like budget is something to be aware of, but it's not as cataclysmic as you may think.
Yeah.
Listen, when you put like 11 out of 30, we're like, oh god, 30's the cap. If we go above that, we're fucked.
No, I just use that as a base number so it can still be visible.
Yeah, I know. At least that's how my brain works. I saw out of 30, I'm like, okay, we cannot get that close.
Upgraded Forge District.
Hooray, yes.
Almost covering the entire budget for the year. Fun.
Yeah. Yes. You guys got 21, which is almost double what you require. You are deep in the black this year.
Good, because we need to fund the Adventurers Guild yet again.
Whew, good thing, too. Glad all those soldiers died. We didn't have to pay off those pensions.
And most of them were unmarried, so that works.
Hell yeah! High five. Starting at year 8.
Who do we send their funeral bill to, though?
that's the best part of dwarven culture. You just dump the bodies in the
Dump 'em in the
lava.
river.
Speaking
Are we
of
still doing that?
speaking of, yeah, no, there's that toxic thing that we should probably put some effort towards at this
Yeah,
point.
you have it contained. That's a section
Yeah.
of the budget.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to that, but I want. Richard said he wanted to do a season,
Okay.
a scene at the end of the year.
Oh,
so-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is this a good time for it?
Go. I don't have anything else.
So this is a question for everyone else. Who would be the most likely one to frequent a bar that's near the capital
Yes.
building?
I was gonna
Thrum?
say all eyes turn to Thrum.
Yeah. Okay, so when Thrum goes for his nightly nightcap, I imagine Fergus doesn't go anywhere without some kind of bodyguards that kind of just follow him whether he wants them to or not.
Dammerhall.
So yeah, the Dammer guard. So like when Thrum's going to his usual bar, he just sees like 5 to 6 Dammer guards just sitting outside the bar, making all the patrons kind of awkward.
Hey, come on in, fellas. I'll buy you around.
They probably point you to Fergus, who's laying, like not like laying, but like kind of leaning on the bar, just drinking more beer than you've ever seen him drink.
So 2 whole beers.
He turns back around to the 5 Dammer guard. Good job, fellas. Good job. Heads on in. Fergus, let me buy you around, my boy.
He's like, huh? Oh no, it's just you. Okay. Yep. Sit.
What are we drinking for? What are we drinking to?
Depression.
Aye. The liquid helps keep it down. 2 boiler makers over here.
Make it 3. I'm feeling adventurous.
Like this, man. I
The
like
middle
this a
finger's
lot.
ready to rise.
That sounds weirdly sexual.
That really does. I think that overtakes my whole joke too.
And Thrum stands up and walks away. All right, drink him down, lad. Whoa, that was fast.
Yep.
You had a few already.
Yeah, he kind of points over to probably like not a lot for you. Like you're probably more of an avid drinker than he is, but still more than you expect him to drink.
The bartender's like giving me that look, like, yeah, he's kind of in the glass.
Meanwhile, all the other patrons are just kind of at their tables, like the king is here. He's drinking. It's very awkward.
Yeah, the bartender's distracted. He has a coin made of solid diamond, and he's just marveling at that.
Thrum's gonna give you a big slap on the back, stand up, and say, "Around on us." That'll get him cheered up. Tell me, boy, what's troubling you?
And this is me like making a character decision. Basically, he's like, I sent Marigold back to her hometown. It seemed like nothing was really making any progress, and anything. The stress of this war and this constant struggle seemed to be just kind of making us more distant than getting us any closer to any kind of resolution of our feelings. So I think it's
Resolution
well.
of your feelings.
I think it's well and truly buried. Just like everything that fucking dwarves make, and he just kicks the table and he's like, hurts himself. Goddamn dwarven craftsmanship.
Hey, barkeep, over here. Thrum whispers his secret recipe to him. Don't worry, I got my winter maker coming to you. It'll make you feel better. But I don't know that I am one to give much of relationship advice. I've
You're
never
up to
done
what,
it.
wife 10?
Is it bad if I don't remember?
Normally I would say yes, but after 7 of these, I'm thinking it's not that big of a deal.
All right. Here, shots. Shoot this real quick. Oh, God. It's
It
worse
burns.
coming up than it goes down. You'll feel that tomorrow. I think there's some smart fella who was probably a sissy and no good at love that said something about let them go, mate. And if they come back, it was supposed to be. I don't remember, but
Wait, are you telling me to send somebody to go mate with somebody?
Another round. One more. Another shot.
Like at this point, Fergus just doing
I
that thing where
think
he's like he's slumped over and kind of like leaning his head on his like forearm as he's like leaning like heavily on the bar.
Yep.
He's like, I think I'm a good catch, right? I'm smart. I'm
you
talented.
Are.
I'm humble.
You had a great idea. You should go mate with somebody right now. That's a fantastic. That's how I cured most of my pains in love. And he's gonna Thrum's gonna scour
again. You
the
had
bar
how
real
many
quick.
X's?
In my name, only 2 in my name, but there's a lady I want you to meet real quick. He's gonna
wait. So you made you made women of ill repute because you didn't want to marry them, and so they weren't your ex-wives. I'm getting very confused here.
How dare you? There are no women of ill repute, only those that I haven't met yet.
So you're just the one of ill repute. Got it. I think things are making more sense now.
So, sorry, I hate to interrupt the scene, but are we confirming that Thrum's dating pattern is to have a rebound of a rebound of a rebound of a rebound?
It's the only way you play basketball, man.
He is the super bouncer ball of love. Bouncing off of everything.
Like, I would process that trauma, but I think at this point, this strain would just kill me.
But yeah, Thrum's trying to introduce him to some random woman. He's like, nope, no bastards on my watch. I'm going to go to another bar and get more drinks. This place has gotten already awkward. And he just gets up and starts stumbling out to find another bar.
He's going to go out and, for the Dammerguard.
Dammerguard march!
Hand them all a platinum piece as he's shaking their hands. Hey, y'all look out for him tonight. He doesn't want to be around family, but don't let any strangers take him out of your sight.
And thus begins a night that Fergus doesn't remember, and I imagine nobody who knows what happened ever tells him. And I'll probably leave off the scene there.
So that's a good way to log for that one-shot idea I had. I was going to call it the Dammerhall bar crawl. I never could figure out a good place to put it into the plot, but it was just going to be a bunch of minor characters going to different bars within Dammerhall, like that spider weaver from the first cavern. And now the idea of trying to weekend at Bernie's the drunk king of Dammerhall.
I accidentally muted myself, and I'm kind of glad because I was yelling out very obnoxiously jokes as you guys were role playing. I was when Throne was like, "How dare you?" I went, "How dare you? I've married every single one of those filthy whores."
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can now.
Yeah, my headset's acting up a bit.
This one will make the other 5 jealous.
Apparently, everyone wanted to jump in on that conversation.
Well, that's why I put my thing in the Discord in the Roll20 chat.
I'm glad I was muted because I was being very obnoxious and could not stop myself.
Yeah, I feel like out of character stuff. I think it's been almost like over a year since Marigold had been in Dammerhall.
Yeah, you were at war for most of that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that. I imagine like the stress between that and then the like nothing probably really progressed much. So they probably just had to give up while they we're still on good terms.
I mean, relationships.
Fergus is like a really different person now. Like you were like a slightly shady but mundane fence.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like,
now he's
sorry, I can't
shady.
make dinner. I have to go slay the dimensional demon and save the world. Monday.
Typical Mondays.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, teleporting axe, activate!
Man, that axe is going to be very handy when he does eventually get married and he has to get away from arguments.
Oh crap, did you hear that? I think the orcs are attacking. Bye.
Just touches the wall, vanishes.
I just imagine the third Thor movie thing where you start to get into an argument and you just hold out your hand and you just hear the crashing as the axe makes its way through the house to reach you, and you're just making awkward eye contact with your very angry wife as you're clearly about to escape.
Pretty good.
Is that in the Thor movie?
That is in Thor Ragnarok, the third one. He visits Doctor Strange at the end of the entire thing. He's like, "Oh wait, before I go," and he holds out his hand to call his hammer.
Yeah.
Just clang, smash, shatter, bang, boom, boom, and they're just standing there in the lobby. And he goes, "Sorry." Then the hammer comes to him and he leaves. But it's just a solid 8 seconds of his house getting destroyed, and we see none of it. It's just implied.
Anyway.
All right.
But yes, I imagine Freya is very happy that she's gone. I just saw the message on the.
Yeah, that's fine. That awkward conversation between Freya and Marigold.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Partway through that conversation, there was a little voice in my head that I'm like, God, am I like biffing this role play and not like giving Michael good segues or anything like that? And then I'm like, oh no, it's just a really awkward conversation.
Yeah.
just normally.
Oh yeah, I thought that was what you were going for.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was a very fun scene.
So the weather in Corsiconia was great this year. You should go check it out.
Far away from here.
As possible. So, real question for Fergus.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually ever mention the whole possibly end of the world thing? That's not going to affect anything with her. But
To Marigold?
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
He would probably never mention that there was like end of the world scenario because he didn't want to stress her out. But he just said that there was something very nasty that's trying to destroy Dammerhall.
Yeah.
Like he would tell her that he wouldn't lie to her and be like, "There's some stuff I can't tell you, but there's something very nasty coming to kill us."
Yeah. Okay, I was just wondering because it wouldn't affect anything, but that would be
I can't imagine he'd be so heartless.
That would be a
very
deeply troubling way. That'd be like, hey, so I'm sorry it didn't work out. We can always remain in good terms, friends. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your life, even if it is a couple months. Goodbye.
If you got them, light them.
Yeah, if I was you, I would empty that bank account. Have a good time.
Hey, you know that
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
you've been saving for a good moment? Might want to pick one soon.
Yep.
Uh,
Because I mean, hey, you're not getting any younger, but you're not gonna get much older.
oh God.
That was a good one.
That is really good.
Just close the door. I think that went well. Man, I really want to do something else, but it's probably like the best time to call it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, we're basically gonna
Look
start
at
the
the
next episode
flat
with
where it's
New
linear.
Year.
Just like conversations that anyone can review the video next time. What are people thinking about like doing the start of like next season?
More politically.
Is the Organ Boy arriving?
Yeah,
season?
it's going to arrive.
Okay.
I was going to probably open next session with that.
Okay.
It's just
more units, constructing that core of engineers, and then I probably just want to get started on the grudge carrier.
Yeah.
ASAP. I don't know what plans
so hear me
Loki
out.
has.
I'm thinking giant drill.
That's what the grudge carrier is.
Okay, I had a feeling. I was gonna say if no one makes a giant drill, it's gonna be a travesty for a dwarven game.
Yeah.
Fergus, when did we want to plan on going on our little boat outing? Do we want to wait till probably after that?
Happens, maybe after next season.
Okay. So then this season, I think I might. We really do need to make a point to check out the sludge and get that cleaned out.
Check out the sludge, get it cleaned out, and we do need to. I know Fergus has said it several times. We need to figure out a way to shield our minds and possibly prevent scrying of any kind. because I have a feeling the guy's just watching us all the time.
Yeah, I think that would probably be something for.
That's something for either you or Taskell or Freya. Probably.
I-
We don't run a city. We have a bad landlord. We got black mold in the bathrooms. They're scrying on us, looking at what we're doing all hours of the day.
Portal
I mean,
to
you're
the
not wrong.
undead realm in
Yeah.
our cupboards.
That sounds more like Freya's alley with developing something like that.
Yeah. If nothing else, that
The city does have some basic anti-scrying wards. That's why you guys weren't able to use the magic mirror to scry in here with Bendrak.
Oh yeah, true. We already do have.
But
some
if we start
scrying
marching the
prevention.
campaign, and then all of a sudden we're trying to infiltrate this place that's protected, then what if one of us gets mind controlled, or what if he knows where we're exactly which way we're trying to enter from because he can read our minds? So at least something that could shield the group of us when we're trying to infiltrate after the army invades. That kind of thing. Like that's what his main concern is. If we're gonna
A
go
mental
down there,
invisibility cloak would be handy.
basically, the closer we get to him, probably the better odds that he's going to be able to keep track of where the fuck we are. So something to prevent that will be nice.
Yeah. I was probably just going to split action the other two temples next season, then finish the ward thing in the gate, and then.
Oh, so the mountain
Probably
temple
should.
got its one action to do that one, but now the other two have to share a season. How dare you, sir.
Hey,
Now
look at the
Thrum.
stresses. I'm keeping track of it.
Now, Thrum, if you can just find some purple worms, we can have a real battle for Arakeen moment going on.
I absolutely feel like I need
The
to go
spice
out and
must
prove
flow.
myself to the people and put down a thumper. Call them in.
What is Thrum planning to do next season?
Build units.
Gotcha.
Other thing, I was thinking about like going back and helping reclaim those two areas and clean them up, but we're so far along. I feel like the smart thing is to move to put our actions toward what's useful.
Well, I think building forts along where we plan on expanding our border is a good call. Like Forsworn claiming this, if they want it, she'll brew here and just start building forts to lock in the territory.
So hear me out. We invent something that's like can project an area that we're like, like I was talking about, like to project for the announcing to the world that the world might be ending from this person to kind of get help. But we also have the added benefit of doing that, and then we also run our own version of The Bachelor, but featuring Dammerhall, because now Fergus is in need of an heir.
Yeah, you need to pump out a
There you
cake
go.
quick.
I will not.
It wouldn't be his
participate
idea,
in a
by the way.
dwarven
This would be
bachelor.
someone else's idea.
I mean, you do have a fatal poisoning, and if you die, the entire thing collapses into chaos.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Thrum's
We
kind
will
of on the ground
preserve
floor
his
with this
testicle
one, right?
Dry
And-
eyes to preserve the monarchy.
and Thrum sees an opportunity to ensure that it's a dwarf that's paired up with with Fergus when it really could be
That's a good
anybody.
Well, yeah, I imagine people are probably getting on him now after this next season
Mm.
to really have some kind of heir,
Yeah.
because now he doesn't even have a love interest anymore.
Yeah.
So all the people are like,
Oh,
think
and
of the
there are those
future.
other dwarven forts that Gumbo mentioned.
Yeah, other
we could invite
dwarven
them.
city-states. Political
We could
marriages are a thing.
invite.
There you go.
Yeah, we could invite the nobility with their available daughters for possible
Hey,
introduction.
Did you
and
hear
this
that,
is-
Frey? Your time as a wingman is limited.
And you see, this is why I was asking the question at the end of the session, because now that I know that's a possibility, I can have character names prepped.
Yeah.
I
Do
can,
it.
see, I can see Thrum trying to do that. Be like,
Get him
finding political
settled
marriages
down.
for Fergus.
He just pulls out a piece of parchment, a big feathery quill. Dear ex-wife number 11, hello. Would you like to perhaps marry someone who is younger, more successful, and wealthier than me? Then I've got a deal for you.
Just the reply comes, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Touche. She was always very cheeky.
Okay, someone write that down. Number 11 was the cheeky one.
He didn't have that many. Goodness.
I know. Someday,
You don't
if someone
start
feels
giving
like
them
hours
names
upon hours of
Top
listening,
5.
we might be able to get an actual number by listening to all the recordings.
The number is out there.
Like, we're just gonna go back and listen to all the times
are
he has.
stars in the sky.
Some say all of the people were his ex-wives.
We were his ex-wives all along.
Mhm.
Some say those who weren't his ex-wives were the ones who were sad.
They were all valuable experience.
Wait, is that why they're the
some
door guard?
lasted a day, some lasted even a week.
Is that why they became Duergar? They're all your ex-wives? And they just wanted nothing to do with the dwarves after dating you?
He answers no questions from those who have never been married.
But anyway, yeah.
He's still legally married to like 5 of them.
Yeah. He didn't even really know if he was legally married to any of them,
He wasn't sober for any of it.
except for 1 and 3.
Mm.
He's pretty sure those were committed.
Just a messenger at the end of the campaign arrives. Lord Thrum, all your ex-wives gathered up in one place, and against all odds were killed by a purple worm. You have multiple inheritances.
Hallelujah.
I'm just saying that could be a one-shot, like a Scott Pilgrim versus the World situation, but it's all of his ex-wives coming to fight.
I still like the
Fighting
idea.
against them.
I still like the idea of the Dammerhall bar crawl, but it's them having to weekend at Bernie's a very chronically drunk and depressed Fergus around.
That sounds very fun.
Yeah.
It's the 5 Dammerguard.
I even said 5 to 6 Dammergar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone else wants to write that, it doesn't have to be me.
Yep, I'll keep that in mind. That could be fun.
Mhm. Ah,
One of
That's a
them
good
Special
one.
Agent Bob and the other Secret Agent Steve.
You've got to run a lot of deception because like his ex-girlfriend comes in and he's got a disguise to stay away from her, or like Ivy comes in and you got to bluff her out that he's fine. You know, all those kind of interactions. Dumbass Thrum came in and y'all got to aid him in fortitude checks because the whole time he thought that he was taking the shots, they were actually handing them off to the Dammerguard.
Here we go. The idea for the weekend at Bernie's situation. He's blackout drunk, but it's actually all these Dammerguard are under the employ of Freya, and they're really trying to set up a meet cute with him meeting Ivy when he's drunk.
and in the end, they accidentally kill the Jello mole.